Podcast League now. Starring the Casablanca Kid. He turns good taste into bad. Movie hero. He has a stutter, but he's smooth like butter. And Pez, with the ability to Pez.
Hey, welcome to, I'm going to say the third annual Best Movies of the Year so far. This is 2024. This is the third time in a row that we've done it, third year. So, yeah, I've been looking forward to this one. It should be a fun one. There's been some really good movies. There's been some stinkers, as always. When this year first started out, I wasn't sure once, like, the beginning of, like, March rolled around. I'm like, I don't know if this is going to be a good year for movies. But then we started getting some really good stuff coming out. So actually, I talked about it online that I wasn't sure about this year, and then it got good. So yeah. But I'm your host, Jordan, the movie hero Anderson, and we got some guests here that have seen a ton of movies. So that's what I wanted to have, people that have just seen a lot. So we'll go around and we'll introduce our panel for tonight. And also, just so everybody knows, we will be talking spoilers tonight. So when we do talk spoilers, we're going to throw up a little spoilers banner up, and so you'll know that we're talking spoilers. So if you don't want to hear about a particular movie, you can tune out or hit the mute button until that banner goes away, and then
I should probably make a spoilers banner, which I'm doing right now.
Oh yeah, yeah. I want to have that. So
see a banner that we never
spoilers. There will be spoilers.
Yeah.
Anyways, there you go.
Yeah. So there you go. But we'll start with my co-host, Mr. Austin Pez Howell. How's it going?
Yeah, no, it started up a little slow this year, but I think it's becoming a better year. I've seen a lot of stuff really good recently, especially, and better as the year goes on. But this will be a great show. If you need some recommendations, anything you missed so far, give this a look. It's gonna be a good time. We got a good panel that hopefully will have some various lists, so it should be fun.
Yeah. And then also, he is known as a movie guy in the community. We have Mr. Paul Preston. How's it going?
Hello. Yeah, I feel like I've seen a lot. I don't know. Maybe I haven't. I feel like currently I have not. So I feel like for the year, I don't know how to feel. Because, I still got to see Longlegs. Still got to see Maxine. Still got to see Twisters.
Yeah. Still
got to see A Quiet Place Day 1. So, I've had a super busy, last month, apparently, because I've missed all the big ones. But yeah, and it's also interesting because for the first time ever in my life, I went to Telluride Film Festival last September. And a lot of those movies are opening now. So I forget what opened now that I might have seen then and thought was awesome. So if you bring something up, it might, that's an awesome movie. So we'll find out what those are as we go.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I've got a fair amount of blind spots too. I've actually seen more recently, and then there's some from early in the year for whatever reason I just didn't get to. So, but we also have joining us. We have Mr. Jordan Owens, JPO. How's it going?
Mm-hmm.
What's up, everybody? Now, happy to be here as always. And yeah, I always have faith. Sometimes, the year can start out a little rough. We all, make those January, February jokes, but I think it's heated up here. I think we're starting to have a really nice year. Look forward to the rest. So, seeing where we think about at the halfway mark is fun.
I always love JPO's list. How many of the streaming exclusive movies will be on there that I've never heard of? So I always look forward to that because
be on the worst list.
He watches all that stuff that drops on Netflix with no promotion. JPO will watch it, and especially day one.
Did you know Jessica Alba's back?
Right.
No.
Especially
trigger warnings, bro. Jeez.
Put a wrestler in it, and JPO will watch it. Damn right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to look over your list. Look over your letterbox.
Cena's been busy again. Cena's already had a couple.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, but last but certainly not least, he may have seen the most movies out of anyone that I know currently so far this year. But we have Michael the Wolfman Wyndham. What's up?
Yeah, I'm at 106 films that I've seen in 2024. Technically, like what Paul was saying, it could be 107 because Evil Does Not Exist. I watched in October at the Virginia Film Festival, but it actually released in April. So it's one of those things where I'm like kind of including it on both lists. Like I put it on my 2023 list, but I'm also including it on my 2024 list. So technically 107, but it's one of those kind of just say cheater. No, but I'm also the kind of person.
Come on, watch movies with less common folks like we do when they actually come out. How dare you?
But no, awesome. Jordan knows the streaming movies that you never heard of, and then I have all the weird art house indie films that are the ones that you've never heard of that like pop up.
Very good for that, Wolf.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
All right.
Well, cool. Yeah. So basically, what we're gonna do, we're gonna quickly break down our worst of the year. We'll just go through it pretty quick, and we'll spend a little more time on the best of the year. So for anyone tuning in, this may I tell you what you may want to watch or you may want to avoid possibly. What might be worth your time here, and then we may throw in a couple honorable mentions along the way. So yeah, but usually how it goes is when we have a tournament bracket, we'll push everybody over to the side and we'll have everyone, or we'll start at the person at the bottom of the ladder as it's displayed. So technically that would be Wolf this time, and just go in reverse order is what I was thinking we'd start off with, and we can probably just jump right into it. So unless anyone has any comments, questions, anything else, we'll just get going.
So if you guys got a worst of list, just run it down real quick, just a comment or two about each one, and so let us know what you got so far.
Yeah, I got a worst of list that I can, if we're doing starting with me first and then working all the way around.
Yeah.
So coming in at number 12, I have this actor I have in 2 films, my best of and my worst of, but this is my worst of. Number 12 is The American Society of Magical Negroes. That was that was not magical. Then there is number 11, which is Founders Day, which was awful. Did not like that movie. You watched it it's bad when when you can buy a ticket for $1 to see a movie for the Real Mission movie. Then at number 10, I have Atlas, Jennifer Lopez trying to attempt to act. There you go. That's the whole movie. And I said trying to attempt. Okay, Jordan. Like it is acting.
So I'm just out of sight. Like Hustlers, like she can back.
She can't, but not in that movie.
Fair enough.
She wasn't trying. She was trying to try.
Yeah, but then I have one that y'all have never heard of called at number 9. It's called Murderitaville, which is it's a fun parody on the whole Margaritaville thing, but it has no margaritas in it whatsoever or Jimmy Buffett songs. So disappointment there. And then coming in at number 8 is Miller's Girl, which that was creepy. Love Jenna Ortega though; she was a great performance. I would say that for sure. And Martin Freeman was, but the movie just was boring. Coming in at number 7 is Madam Web. Now, I actually have a blast with this movie, but it's still awful, and I had to put it on the list but I have like a ball. This is like the room of comic book movies. Okay, like I laugh so hard every time I watch it. And then Arthur's Whiskey is one I watched early in the year. That's number 6, probably one y'all never heard of. Number 5 is The Strangers Chapter 1. Oh, yeah, we're going to advertise this as a prequel to The Strangers. See them before they became The Strangers. Oh, we're going to advertise this as some cool thing. And then just do a straight-up verbatim remake that is uninteresting with no good characters and, like, horrible dialogue and things that just don't make sense. Then at number 4, I have Tarot, the worst wide-release horror movie since Bye Bye Man or Ouija. I hated that movie so bad. And then another one is called No New Friends I watched because it's 66 minutes. A lot of these like bad movies, I just was like, oh, it's 60 minutes and it's like streaming somewhere. So, or it's on VOD. So sure, I'll watch it because it's like that short. And then I'm like, why did I watch it? Even though it was that short because they're so bad. And this one was terrible. The next one, which is my number 2 worst of the year, is one I watched on Tubi, and it was 64 minutes. And I was like, again, short. I'll watch it.
What do you expect going into like Tubi movies you never heard of. I don't understand why you bother.
Do they
Like,
have
I
originals?
don't. Yeah, Tubi has originals. Or
Yeah.
JPO's in a movie that's on Tubi right now. He'll tell you all about it.
Check out Hunter X.
Hunter X. I have it on DVD.
Yeah.
But hey, they actually did have a good one this year though. Low Lives. That actually was not bad, and that was one that dropped on Tubi, and that was actually.
You didn't
pretty
make my worst of list, JPO. I saw worse movies than Hunter X, so you're safe.
See, there are some films like this though, where if it reaches like that short, where it's like 60 something minutes, I'm like, okay, I'll use this as a throwaway just to add to my list, that kind of thing.
Sure.
And that's what Death Web was. It was one of those behind the computer movies, and it was really dumb. And then the last one, it's bad when it was literally deleted on YouTube for how bad the movie was, which was called the Gakuya tapes. I can't even pronounce it right. It was a film that was on YouTube that I watched that was like uploaded early in the year, and it was deleted because all the comments hated on the movie. It is a found footage movie about these like two girls trying to go into a haunted prison, but they're like, oh, this is repeat footage over and over. That's scary for people, right? And it was just like such a bore fest. I absolutely hated it. So yeah, there's some ones that y'all have heard of, some ones y'all haven't, but don't recommend any of them. So except for maybe Madam Web. Y'all might have a fun time if you're drunk. So
yeah, there you go. but cool. Well, we'll move over to JPO. What do you got for your worst of the year?
I'll run through this quickly here. Yeah, Lisa Frankenstein, I kind of thought dropped the ball in the last half. I liked some of it, but not all of it. Lift on Netflix with Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart again trying to be kind of a badass. Doesn't totally work. Pool Man, the directorial debut of Chris Pine, has its moments, but it's trying to be kind of Big Lebowski-ish, but it just fails more than it succeeds. Madame Web, enough said, y'all know. Reunion, if you've seen the after party on Apple, just that, but way worse. One has a good cast, but they're again one of those comedies that just they have nothing to do. I agree with him on The Strangers, Chapter 1. I disagree. It's not a Tread remake because it's way worse than that first one here. The characters are less interesting. There's nothing memorable, unlike the first two, about this. And then an unfortunate cliffhanger. Come back to the next one. I really don't want to. Underdogs with Snoop Dogg on Prime here. He's a douchebag that's randomly, we want to believe that he's no longer a douchebag. We don't really buy into it. The kids are annoying. Bosco over on Peacock. I'm just changing streamers now. It has, I feel like it wants to say good things. I hate hating on this movie here, and hopefully it falls off towards the end of the year, but it just kind of fumbles it really hard here and has weird kind of segues while it's actually trying to say something I feel kind of important. Players, now we're over at Netflix here. Just a kind of forgettable rom-com where you're just waiting for the inevitable people to fall for each other, even though she's looking at a different guy for half the movie. Sticking on Netflix, trigger warning, Jessica Alba trying to be a badass here. She's actually not even the worst part about this. It's just, again, it's just not that interesting of an action flick movie. Night Swim. I really did not like Night Swim. Thought it was boring. People try to give Ryan Russell credit. I'm not blaming Ryan Russell, but even he, I don't think he is able to do much with what's given. And then speaking of Tubi, they are the exclusive streamers of Half-Baked 2. There's a Half-Baked sequel, y'all, with Harvey Williams for about 5 seconds, and no one else from the original movie. Oh no, the girl returns.
JPO always coming through with those streaming movies we don't care about.
Yeah,
always appreciate it.
JPO and I, we're the real troopers here. We sacrifice ourselves to watch this.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't do that quite so much, but that's fine. but yeah, we'll move over to Paul. You got some worst of the year you want to shout out?
I just got two. Movies, every year it seems like my top 10 of the year doesn't involve anything from the first half of the year. I mean, maybe one or two. So there's nothing here that's like knocked me out where at the end of the year I'm going to remember, except maybe one or two films. I'm talking about my top 10. So bottom is pretty much easier to come with. But I think, a lot of you guys might know me from the Movie Trivia Schmodown, and I got on that because I was podcasting in the same venue as the Schmoes. So that's how I got to know Christian and Mark. And I was doing a show called the Movie Showcast, which I ended up running for like 2.5 years. And we watched the trailer to every movie and got interested and excited about every movie because that way we could joke on them all. It was kind of a comedy show, but we didn't want to leave anything out. But boy, when that show ended, was I freed from all the shit movies. And it was glorious. I have to admit, the two, all the movies mentioned so far, haven't seen any of them. So I'm like blissfully free of all the crap you guys have mentioned. So I think now that continues. Like these crap movies have come out, and I just didn't see them. But I did get stuck twice. I saw The Book of Clarence, and this movie was from James Samuel, who made the fantastic The Harder They Fall on Netflix, the Western with Regina King and Idris Elba. That movie is awesome if you get a chance to see it. And I went to see a Q&A with, that came with that film. And James Samuel, the director, was one of the best Q&As ever. Like, he was fired up. He had to walk around to talk about his movie because he was so excited about it. And he said he just didn't see a lot of black people in Westerns. So the quote was, and I love his quote, "I don't critique, I create." So he just made a Western with black people in it. It turned out to be great, where black people were they were underrepresented to his thought. So he changed that. Book of Clarence has, another big cast of black actors in it in the main roles. But boy, did it not hit a tone for me and stick with it that I enjoyed at all. It jumped between two different tones that I didn't care for. So it looked like it was going to be kind of maybe comical or odd that this guy was sort of worshipped like Jesus, but and then it went south for him. But it ends up trying to take itself very seriously, and I didn't like that at all, despite a good cast. Lakeith Stanfield's in it, but didn't care for that movie at all. And then ISS, which has a trailer promising a fantastic plot, that the people on the International Space Station see on Earth, war breaking out, and they all get orders to take the stations from the Russians, take from the Americans, etc. And so that could lead to a very cool sort of small quarters thriller. But that movie just got worse as it went along. Like every choice I made was like, oh no, crap. By the time it was over, I was taking care. So those are the two I would skip if I were you. I went on about as long as people did about 10 movies about 2, but
no, that's fine.
Sure. Yeah.
I've seen both of them.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Austin, I know you love yourself a bad
movie. Oh, dude, I love bad movies. I have my reputation around here. Myself and Richie, my good buddy, we love bad movies, man. Paul, you show me a movie that has like a 3% on Rotten Tomatoes, I run to the theater as quickly as possible to go watch that sticker. I love bad movies, and I love big train wreck movies. That's my bread and butter.
Do you find the ones that are like so bad they're good are that anymore? Like I remember Snakes on a Plane, so bad it's good. I watched it. It's just bad.
Like my favorite bad movie of last year, and anybody who knows me knows what I'm talking about. It was the Ben Affleck Robert Rodriguez collaboration Hypnotic from last year. Was my favorite bad movie of last year. That movie is a train wreck and a half, and it's amazingly bad.
So kind of remember it.
There are some that
Imaginary was like that.
Imaginary is kind of like that. Madam Web's kind of like that, but yeah.
Madam Web. Okay, that's one. Like those other movies didn't catch on, but Madam Web seemed to catch on with the zeitgeist that it's terrible and you have to see it because it's terrible.
I'll definitely shout those out if it's one of those like fun bad, I'll tell you. But yeah, so my number 12, just squeaking in, will be The Watchers, the Shyamalan's daughter movie. Some decent technical stuff, and I'm sorry, it's boring as all hell and just stupid. My number 11 is ISS, which you just shouted out, Paul. A great premise that does nothing with it and is incredibly boring as it goes along, and just gets worse and worse. Yeah. My number 10 is Night Swim, which should be a short film and an anthology, and they stretch it out to a full length, and it gets more and more ridiculous as it goes on. My number 9, I think so.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. My number 9 is Summer Camp, which was filmed 15 minutes from me here in Hendersonville, North Carolina, at the camp down there with Kathy Bates and whatnot. Just a very, very bland. I heard a new term actually that I hadn't heard for these types of movies, like The Fabulous Four and 80 for Brady. I read about a term called geezer pleaser. And that's what these movies are. And I was like, that is so perfect, because there's literally one in theaters right now called The Fabulous Four, those book club movies. Like, these are geezer pleasers, and I stay far away from them. But I saw Summer Camp because it was filmed right up the road, and the movie stinks. So that's unfortunate, because the catering guy came into my store that I work at every day to get his catering stuff. So I was interested to see it. Came and went with no fanfare. Number 8 is American Society of Magical Negroes, as Wolfman shouted out. It starts out okay and progressively gets worse as well and becomes a very, very boring rom-com instead of using the premise. Number 7 is Imaginary, which is kind of batshit crazy by the end of it and kind of fun to watch, but Jeff Wadlow is a terrible director. I don't know how he keeps making movies. He's made one bad movie, shitty movie after another, and he keeps getting money. Number 6.
Sorry, but apparently I heard that Jeff Wadlow, like is like the nicest guy in Hollywood, and that's why he keeps on getting.
I'm sure he is,
like,
and
he
also
is actually like,
and his movies cost about $5 million and scraped by like $25 million, so he keeps getting money to make movies. So there you have it.
Yeah.
No matter how bad
Blockbusters
they are.
take note. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So my number 6 is Tarot, which is a Final Destination horrible ripoff, and it's just cliche and tropey and really bad. Just not good. Bad PG-13 horror. Number 5 is Madam Web, which may be my favorite bad movie of the year. It just makes every wrong decision and horrendous everything. Number 4, Tyler Perry's Mea Culpa from Netflix. That movie is awful. Absolutely awful. It is not sexy. It is not intriguing. It is not thrillery. 2 words: paint sex. If you know, you know. Really, really stupid. So if you dare, go check it out.
Man, you sold me on it now.
It is kind of like intriguing bad. Like when you watch it, your mouth will be agape at how stupid it is. So if you want to go watch it, go watch it. My number 3 is Founders Day, which is plain the worst horror movie, just technically speaking, that I'm convinced was a Tubi movie that got a release in the middle of the strikes because they needed content, open for like a week. And so, hey, when you put it in theaters, it counts. My number 2 is my most hated movie of the year. I hated If from John Krasinski. That movie stinks. I hated it to high heaven. Hated every second of that movie. Go watch the description down below. There's still worse stuff if you want to hear me rant about this movie for about 5 minutes. I hated If. So it's this year's Wonka because I hated that movie too. But my number 1 is not a movie and yet somehow got a wide release. Maybe the worst thing I've seen in theaters in probably 10 to 15 years is Not Another Church Movie, which is like the worst technical piece of shit movie I may have ever seen. The worst editing, worst characterization, the worst story, worst green screen, worst ADR, worst everything in a movie you could possibly do. It is the absolute dirt worst thing I've seen in years and years and years. It is like, if is like a 1 out of 10 on my scale, Not Another Church Movie is like a -10. Like it's not even a thing. Like I don't know how this movie got into theaters.
The question is it worse than Thanksgiving 3? That's the question.
That's close. See, but Thanksgiving 3 didn't make me sit in a theater and watch it. So I drove to the theater and watched this movie. So with my Regal Unlimited. So you put it in a theater, and that to me makes it worse because I don't know how it got by every studio executive and got put into a theater. So worst thing maybe I've ever seen, Not Another Church Movie, which will solidly be number 1 by the end of the year. You will hear me talk about it on our worst movies of the end of the year. I
haven't seen enough church movies to think that would be warranted. Oh, and I haven't seen enough where I would even understand any of their comedy.
Well, they're parodying, Tyler Perry, like literally like Medea movies, things like that, which are comedies. So I don't know how you parody a comedy. Like you're already starting out on a round. You're starting out with a bad base when you're trying to parody a comedy and make it less funny than the actual comedy it's ripping off. So again, it makes no sense. See it if you dare. I dare you. I dare you to try to watch this movie all the way through and without rage quitting. It's like a video game. So that's what I got.
Well, growing up in the Mormon church, I could give you about a dozen bad church movies. Like we have some stinkers, let me tell you. That like only people in the Mormon church would understand. Why would you do that to yourself? Like make it like accessible to other
or
people.
watch probably.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but so to be fair with my list, I do have a fair amount of blind spots and a lot of the really bad ones that I kind of avoided. So I haven't seen all the bad ones, but I've seen enough of them to have ones that I don't like. So, and all the movies on my list get progressively worse. So I'll just start with my number 12. And this one, like barely squeaked in the list. I don't think it's like completely horrible, but it's not great. And that's In a Violent Nature, just because I just didn't really know like what it was trying to be. They're trying to be a slasher movie, but it doesn't stick to the same like third person that they're trying to do, or like whatever they're doing. And Wolf, I know you had one of the actresses. You got an interviewer. That's really cool on your channel. She gave a better performance for what it was, but it just kind of was all over the place to me. So, and then I also have Out of Darkness, which was another mystery movie that I saw. There's another one that just kind of squeaked in there. I mean, it's not the worst movie, but it's about cavemen, kind of like back in like millions of years ago.
I like that movie. But anyways, yeah.
Like
if you want to see a bad caveman movie, watch the Sasquatch Sunset. That one.
Then we look kind of like intriguing, but I guess not. But But the movie, though, like right when it was ramping up and about to get good, I'm like, all right, now we're gonna do something. The movie just ends, and I'm like, okay. The movie's really short too. I think it was like 80 minutes or something pretty short. I don't know. But then I also have Unfrosted on there, just because
Emmy
when I first saw it-
nominated, Unfrosted. You have to say Emmy nominated because
Right,
it is an
right, Emmy
Emmy nominee now.
Well, which is weird because it's a movie, not a TV show. But I guess they give Emmys to movies now. But I think I went in with like really high hopes because it's Jerry Seinfeld, it's Jim Gaffigan, it's like Bill Burr being JFK, it's like all these famous comedians, and I can't stand Amy Schumer, and they made her the like head of like Post or whatever, so she had a big role, and just I don't know, it was just campy and just like way too over the top for me. I know he was going for like a certain style, but it just
That's what he was going for. Me and JP liked it. I vibe with
Yeah.
it. It's a parody of those business movies. I don't know how you didn't pick
I
up
know.
on that.
Well, I got it because I actually liked it the first time that I saw it, but then I rewatched it with like a different lens, I guess. And I'm like, this is not good, and like nothing's funny to me. Like I just
Austin, refresh me again. When someone mentions a movie that in their worst, that's on my best, do I chime in then? No, I wait for later. I'll wait for later.
Yeah, right.
No, it's not on my best of list, so I'm just making a comment that I think George's in the minority on that one.
Well, Austin had one that was on my honorable mention. It wasn't on my best stuff, but and then I had Night Swim on there also. That's one that like I'm a big James Wan fan. He produced it, and it just wasn't really that great. And then I also had The Strangers Chapter 1 because I love the first Stranger with Liv Tyler. I think that's one of my favorite horror movies of all time, and this one is not good. And they like straight up, like Wolf said, they kind of tried to remake parts of it that would just seem kind of weird. I don't know what they were really going for there, but then I finally saw Imaginary, so that's on my list. That movie's just all over the place. It's just really weird, and then it gets like even weirder as it goes, and it just but like the way that like people talk is not normal. The way that a human being should talk in like pure exposition lines, telling you exactly why they're in the movie and what their purpose is. It's weird. I don't know. But I also had Spaceman with Adam Sandler. I did not like that. I hated it. I could not stand. It's just him alone,
Stand by
on a space station, and then a giant spider shows up.
People
and
in rooms talking.
Okay, like what's the point? I don't get it. It's not doing anything. I didn't even feel any kind of like emotional connection or anything like that. I'm just like, I don't get it. This movie's weird. I also had Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2. Ooh, what a shit show. Because I actually liked the first one. The first one's campy and like cheesy
Two's way better. Way
on
better.
purpose. But then the second one, they tried to make it serious. This movie should not be serious. The movie should be campy,
opposite,
and like fun, and like they tried to make like a serious like horror movie, like a serious slasher, and just like no, just like they got to play into the campiness of it.
Okay, tell me, when did the first Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey ever play into the campiness? Like
they do it like the whole entire time. That with
no, it never did. It took it like super.
Yeah,
anyway, hey guys, we're spending too long on this. Let's go.
All right.
Too long.
We're 30
Then I had Madam Web.
We're 30 minutes in, and we haven't even started honorable mentions.
Yeah,
We gotta go.
Okay,
let's go.
Well, I'll speed it up. I had Madam Web. I finally saw that. That could be considered fun, bad maybe. But I also had the Roadhouse remake with Jake Gyllenhaal. So I turned that movie off 30 minutes into watching. I couldn't stand the villain. I couldn't stand a lot of the characters.
You didn't see it then.
Well, I couldn't even finish it. I tried though. I wasn't gonna waste my time. But then I had Founders Day on there because I saw the Regal Mystery movie. It was a waste of time, and like half the theater walked out that I was in. So they're on the same page as me. And then I also had Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate as my worst movie of the year, which our other coach, you can see him in the intro, Chris Scott, gave a 5 out of 5 plus, and he loved it. And that's my worst movie of the year. That's a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, 0%, and you give it a 5 out of 5.
It's a shitty pilot for a TV show.
Yeah, it's horrible. So
What the fuck is wrong?
yeah, that is a weird take. And He defends it. I've had conversations with him about
Oh my
it.
god!
What a fuck! Even if you give it a 3 or like a 3.5,
If you're like,
right.
it's not as bad as everybody says it is, whatever.
Oh
but
my
come on,
God,
that means
you
it's like an
You
instant
just said
classic.
direct to Peacock,
classic.
as you said, like a backdoor pilot, like is a perfect.
In the-
Okay.
And none of the original voice actors even wanted to come back. I don't know what the situation
They
was.
didn't have the money because it's directed DVD.
Yeah,
Peacock thing.
they did not
Yeah.
return. So yeah, so, but yeah, that'll be mine. So yeah, we can go ahead and if anyone has some honorable mentions, the honorable mention we'll just say them. We don't really even have to really get into them. But if you have just a few, I mean, I'd say 10 max maybe. Something like
I've
that.
got 7 since we're doing a top 12. So yeah, there you go.
So yeah, maybe for the honorable mentions, we can go the other way around. Maybe I'll start first, just on the honorable mentions. So let me scroll back to mine. So I'll just say them, just like straight up run them down. So I have A Quiet Place Day 1. I have Horizons and American Saga Chapter 1. I have Suncoast. I have Twisters. I have Ricky Stenicki. I have The Watchers, which was my honorable mention that you mentioned, Austin. I actually have My Spy the Eternal City. Like, that movie surprised me. I didn't think I would like that, but I did. And then I have Late Night with the Devil. I have Immaculate. I have Abigail, and I have Long Legs. So those are my honorable mentions that didn't quite make it there, but they're pretty good. So, but what do you got, Austin?
Yeah, I'll just shout out, like I said, about 7 or so. The Beekeeper is way better than it has any right to be. Really well directed and good action movie. Abigail is also much better than the trailers would say from the guys who did the last 2 Scream movies and Ready or Not. Long Legs, I have in my honorable mentions. Not quite in my top, but I very much enjoyed it. Monkey Man is worth your time as well. Dev Patel's directorial debut looks really great and has some good action as well. Love Lies Bleeding is a great sort of throwback kind of 70s style movie that I really enjoyed, and Katie O'Brien is the sexiest character in movies this year so far. Spaceman is a good movie, and I will put it in my honorable mentions because goddamn, Adam Sandler's doing some very good work in that movie, and so is Paul Dano, and that movie is my kind of trippy and weird, and I loved it. And then Sting, the Spider movie, I'm a creature feature guy, and I thought it was a lot of fun and some good practical effects in there. So Sting, yeah, we'll round up my honorable mentions.
So now, correct me if I'm wrong. Was Katie O'Brien also in Twisters? I could have sworn she was in Twisters.
Barely. She's like 8th build. Like
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because
Barely.
I could have sworn that I saw one of like the like Wrangler crew or whatever,
Yeah.
the Tornado Wranglers or something.
Mhm.
But we'll go to Paul. You got any honorable mentions you want to shout out?
Yeah, I got a few because probably the best movie I saw all year was the 4K re-release of Amadeus. But I figured I can't put that on the list. It's kind of cheating. So I threw it in the honorable mention. The 4K looks great. That movie, I forgot how hilarious it is, actually. It seems like a stuffy Best Picture winner, but it's actually super funny. I liked Babes. Last year was full of great comedies in the summer. Babes kind of kicked off this year's comedies. There haven't been as many that knocked me out like last year with Theater Camp and No Hard Feelings and Barbie and on and on and on. But I also did enjoy Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. I thought it didn't drown the viewer in nostalgia. It used nostalgia wisely to kick off a whole bunch of fun new stuff. And Eddie Murphy hasn't lost a step. You watch him be really great in this role and want to play it. You kind of wish there were 7 or 8 Axel F movies. But we got the one we got. And I recommend the Albert Brooks documentary, Albert Brooks Defending My Life, if you don't know the great works of the legendary comedian Albert Brooks and his history before he became a great filmmaker, all about it. It's a great combination of him in conversation with Rob Reiner and your usual documentary fare. So that's worth checking out as well.
All right.
Yeah, I need to watch more documentaries. I haven't watched enough, I don't feel like.
Yeah, but don't get fooled because there's a lot of stuff like that has an agenda. There's like too many documentaries thanks to streaming, so stuff comes out and it's like, just try and get the real ones that are just kind of more
that are good.
You can watch the ones that are good is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I'll have one in my list.
Unbiased.
That's really good.
Make a note. The good ones.
Write that down. Watch the good ones, not the shitty ones.
Well, I mentioned Telluride, and the best things I saw there were docs. So get into it.
Nice.
Docs are
Well, JPO, what do you got for some honorable mentions?
Yeah, go through it quickly here. I got The Fall Guy with Ryan Gosling. Abigail, as Pez said, is a really fun movie here. Love Lies Bleeding, really cool, unique thriller. Spaceman again with Adam Sandler. Sandman, killing it. The First Omen, talk about a movie I didn't want / turn into a movie I'm glad we got. Boy Kills World is a lot of fun here. Late Night with the Devil is really dope. Sorcerers was fun and delivered kind of what you want. Also with you, Jordan, on Suncoast, a really small Hulu movie. More people should check out. And while you're not wrong, Paul, I do have Book of Clarence. I know what you mean by the tone, but I enjoyed it enough to where it's kind of the tail end of my honorables. But I know exactly what you mean by it.
Mm-hmm.
I still have a disdain for religion, so it didn't.
It is a little all over the place, undecided. But I liked enough of it where I still appreciate it. I still think it's worth watching.
Yeah, that guy's a good filmmaker.
Yeah, no, I definitely look forward to the next thing. Like you said, Already Fall is definitely really worth going anyway for. This one I still think is interesting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I just watched Suncoast today. That's why I can't quite put it in my best of the year, but I can shout it out as an honorable mention. I feel like so.
No, it's a little coming of age with Woody Harrelson. He's not the one coming of age, but there's a girl coming of age.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but
he is of age, quite of age.
Yeah,
he's quite of age.
Very much.
Like I was saying, he's growing up.
Yeah, but Wolf, what do you got for your honorable mentions?
But first off, Suncoast, great pick. That definitely is
Gonna write that down.
Is one I would love to shout out. Another one is talking about great documentaries. Skywalker's A Love Story. It is on Netflix. You guys can check that out. It made me sweat and like clench my butt cheeks. It was so intense. It was a documentary / heist film. That's all I'll say. Just definitely go and check that one out. And then Inside Out 2. I thought that one was actually pretty solid. Really actually holds up. Not nearly as good as the original, but still holds up to the original, which is saying something. Mm-hmm. And then Late Night with the Devil. Yes, for all you people I've been in arguments with, that is a found footage movie. Okay, it counts. It literally says at the beginning, this is lost footage that is playing. Like, it literally has a message at the beginning talking about that.
I don't know who you're fighting, but yeah, you're right. You're fine.
Yeah, exactly. See, JVO's
you're right.
Fighting those people that are arguing.
It's found footage. It's all shot.
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Are there people angry about that? Like, they're making shit up to be angry about now on the web.
Two of Wolfman's friends said that to him.
And then Love Lies Bleeding was another one I had on there. Really, really great. In fact, also I want to say that Katie O'Brien's probably also my favorite supporting actress performance I've seen this year too, as far as like a performance goes. Like, it was very physical. I loved her performance in that. And then Monkey Man is one I have in my honorable mentions. Thought that was a total surprise. Thelma was a blast. Almost made my list. It was so close. June Squibb finally gets her leading role.
I'm probably going to see it tomorrow. It's at a local theater right near my house.
I got to see it.
Yeah, I need to see it.
Yeah. I definitely think y'all would dig it for sure. It was very close to making my list. And then this, it's only because it just came out and I kind of need it. I need room for it to marinate. Ask me in a few weeks. This could be in my top 10. It's like right outside right now though is Deadpool and Wolverine. That is in my honorable mention. Okay. So, but again, ask me in 2 weeks. It could be in my top 10 anyways. But
well, we can get into our top 12, and I just asked that everyone try their best. If you're gonna talk about a potential spoiler, to just say spoiler so Austin can throw up the banner, but just try your
and once again, we're on the table. If anybody has it higher, as far as 2 spots or higher in your own personal list, just say punt. Just shout that out so we can punt it till later. When it gets to a tie spot, we'll then kind of let everybody who had it on their list talk about it then, and try to keep your thoughts. Like, you can talk about the movie, just try to keep it to like 90 seconds or less, just so we can keep the pace up. Sort of. It should be plenty of time to talk about the movie. What you like, something like that. So try to give it just so we can keep the pace up, because we got a lot of good movies to get to. So just just try to keep it under roughly 90 seconds or so. It should be plenty of time to talk, get your thoughts out real quick. So, yeah, and we'll get going.
And also, Austin, if you notice someone forgot to say spoiler, if you catch it, you can just throw it up there.
I'll try. So, yeah, but I always found that weird when you say the spoiler and then you go spoilers, like you've already. Okay.
Personally, I can talk about my list without them, so that's just me.
Yeah, I can talk around. I'm not going to talk any spoilers on mine. Like I don't really want to. I want people to watch these movies, so I'm not going to go spoilers.
There's a couple that I might, but I don't know. We'll see.
Well, luckily you aren't like that one time that Austin and I did our Halloween kill stream, and there was people trying to write Halloween end spoilers. Literally, I remember that. It was like they were writing Halloween ends spoilers in the comments, literally writing out like actual like stuff in the comments. And I was like having to
is what it is.
Well, we'll start at the bottom of the ladder, so we'll go to Wolf. What do you got for?
And I've got tickers for everybody, so as soon as you say it, I'll try to do that and run the ticker as you're talking. So let me know what you got. Go ahead, Wolf.
So we talked about a documentary previously in my honorable mentions, and so I have to add a documentary in my top 12. This is one that is still on YouTube for free because it's not a bad movie, so they kept it on YouTube, and it's on the Naughty Dogs page. Anyone who knows me knows I'm a massive fan of the Last of Us games. The Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2. They're like a masterpiece, maybe my favorite pieces of storytelling art that I have seen. Like they're like absolutely phenomenal. And so in 2013, they came out with a documentary called Grounded, The Making of The Last of Us. And that was an incredible documentary going behind the scenes of it. And then they came out all those years later with Grounded 2, The Making of The Last of Us Part 2. And it was a sequel, and it was really, really good. It not only is an in-depth look at what went on behind the scenes, but also what happened with like the leaks that happened and the reactions that happened almost there. And, and all the other kind of drama that happened behind the game and the fandom and such. So it's really, really good. And I highly recommend checking it out. If you are a Last of Us fan, especially, I highly recommend checking it out. There's some nice stuff in there for fans of the games, but if you're not, then I recommend both documentaries. I think you'll just enjoy them outright, even if you're not a fan of the games, because they're just really, really well made.
That's a lot of numbers for your first top 12. My number 12 is Grounded 2, The Making of The Last of Us Part 2. All right.
It sounds like you took the advice you heard here and watched a documentary that was good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
And technically, it was my bad. It's one word off. It's making, not the making. My bad.
Jesus Christ.
Making.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I haven't heard of this amazing video game documentary on YouTube. Sorry.
And they don't mention the expansion into the television show. Is it all the video game?
It's mostly the video game that they really talk about, but they do hint at something at a potential third story that Neil Druckmann has developed in his head that he thinks could work as a third game potentially. And so that is sort of like a tease. So that's like a little tease he gives off for the fans, but they do have a really emotional moment of like Troy Baker saying, obviously, like, guys, the game came out in 2020, so spoilers are allowed for this. Joel, you know what happens then. Pretty much Troy Baker.
Hang up.
but pretty much there's a really emotional part of him like saying goodbye to the cast and knowing that he's not going to be the character anymore, and it was like really sweet. So yeah, there's definitely some really good tender emotional moments in there, as well as just great filmmaking and just great Easter eggs for fans. So
all right, there we go.
What if Wolf had zero punts this whole time? He sees all these different movies than us.
It's very possible.
We'll see.
I was going to say, sorry to the audience, but now we all have to chime in on where this movie was on our top 12s, right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
right.
Number
3, number 2.
I fact checked this. According to Letterboxd, none of my friends or colleagues or people I follow have seen it. So any one of our guests would not have been able to judge.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it is free on YouTube. Y'all do not have to pay for it at all. If y'all do want to check it out, so there you go.
I got it.
Yeah. Well,
All right,
JPO, what do you got for your number 12?
All right, Jordan, get ready to punt it. Roadhouse, baby. I loved it.
Punt down the toilet.
Roadhouse
No.
is great. Very entertaining. Very entertaining.
It just is exactly what I wanted, man. Like I have no like total love or lore for the old one here. So just give me a fun bouncing movie. You know, he's a UFC fighter now. He beats the shit out of was it Post Malone? Or no, Post Malone backs out of the fight because he's afraid of him. Even through the intro. And then I enjoyed the humor of it. I like the fact that they're, you know, he beats up the guys, but he drives them to the hospital. Then you got the one guy who finally backs off and goes, I'm not bad. I just want to hang out with other people that ride bikes. Like, and he bounces and lives. There's a couple of character decisions that I didn't like that took me out of it a little bit here. But other than that, I think Conor McGregor is perfect as just a crazed villain fighter here. His opening scene is literally him butt naked, beating up people here. He's exactly what he can do and could do on screen. And I enjoyed it here. You know, Gyllenhaal got in shape for it here. He kicks ass. It's fun. It's exactly what I want until large degree. So
Yeah.
So
Sounds good. Yeah.
Right.
Well, we'll go to Paul. What do you got for your number 12?
Number 12, I got the Fall Guy.
All right. There you go.
That'd be a punt.
13.
Oh, a punt. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we talk about that later. Is that what that means?
We'll talk about that later. So when we get to Jordan's the one who punted it. So when it gets, if he has it, that means he had it at least 2 spots or higher.
Now.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So-
All right.
So when we get to,
I'll-
whenever he has it higher on the list, you guys will both talk about the Fall Guy.
Copy
at the
that.
same
Next.
time. So
Yeah.
That's what we do. All right. But I've got it
All
in
right.
the ticker. So
Awesome.
eventually when we get there.
Yeah.
Yes, my number 12 might get punted as well. We'll see what happens. My number 12 is the Bike Riders.
In my honorable mentions, but
Okay, cool.
definitely not.
So the Bike Riders is I saw it with my dad, which makes sense. This is a total dad movie in 2024. But you know, I these are the movies me and my dad kind of bond over. You know, we both bonded over Easy Rider early on. You know, these kind of these slice of life period piece things about these bikers. It's kind of like what it's been described as, sort of a little Goodfellas with biker gangs. But you know, sort of how it changed over time and got corrupted by all the people coming back from Vietnam and like the drugs and like, you know, from what it originally was just guys trying to ride bikes and like hang out, do their thing and getting corrupted into more gang lifestyles and whatnot. But excellent performances and characters all around. Austin Butler is a star. He's got a total James Dean thing going on in this movie. And you can tell he's nailing it. Tom Hardy gives a really interesting performance. Norman Reedus shows up and he's great. That's this crazed, weird California hippie biker. He's amazing. I didn't know Michael Shannon was in the movie. He shows up as a great guy who tells wacky stories and, you know, from his tales. A lot of other character actors just kind of pop in and out of the movie. But yeah, I really just love the period of it. I love the vibe of the movie. And it's a movie that me and my dad, bonded over this year. So, I really enjoyed the Bike Riders. So there you go. Just for anybody who needs it. There you go.
Sounds good.
Right.
I will see it when it's no longer $20 to watch at home. When it's either
I
on
see.
a streamer or 10 and below.
100%. Give it another month or two. It'll be on a streamer somewhere.
It will be on Peacock. It's Focus
Yeah.
Features,
I
so it
enjoy
will
that.
be on there.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'll get to it as soon as it's done.
There you go. All right.
Yeah. Well, I caught it exactly like right before it left theaters, so I lucked out there. But so I think my number 12 is probably definitely gonna get punted, but we'll see. I have Dune Part 2.
That's a big
Punt.
one.
Big punt. Yep.
Okay,
All right.
yeah, that's what I figured. Okay, that's my number 12.
All
It's
right.
still there, but it's at 12. Actually, I'm pretty surprised that it's that low on my list. I thought it would be higher, but I just kept seeing really great movies. So
So yeah, we will punt that for a little while, I imagine. So all right, there we go.
Yeah.
So
we'll go back around to
yeah, that's right.
So-
Well, back to
Wolf
Wolf.
for you.
All
Your number
right.
11.
So my number 11 is one that y'all have at least heard of, but I don't know if any of y'all have seen it. It's what I am basing my name off of tonight, and that is Hundreds of Beavers. This movie is
I have it on
wild.
my Amazon. Waiting.
This
to watch
is this is a era to,
Write
or
that one
this is
down.
a ode, I should say, an ode to the era of silent filmmaking, pretty much. Because what it is it's about this man who's like a salesman of some kind, and he is on this journey. It's in the winter. He's like it's cold, and it's like he's trying to survive and in the wilderness, and then he finds this village with this man and this girl, and he gets feelings for her, and the man pretty much, the plot is just like, he says, if you want to marry my daughter, you have to bring me hundreds of beavers, because he's like, this guy owns a shop where he like cooks meat and all that stuff. He's like, you have to bring me hundreds of beavers. So the whole movie is just people dressed up in like beaver mascot costumes chasing after him in like Looney Tunes style shenanigans, and it is like awesome. We have to do a drinking game to this one day. Like, it is wild. Like it is something that it might be the most immensely straight up entertaining movie I will watch all year when this comes to entertainment value. When it comes to entertainment value, yeah, it is straight up a Looney Tunes movie, and I adored every second of it. And it is one of the best silent films I've seen too. So definitely give this one a watch. There literally is no dialogue, and it even does all the silent stuff, like whenever they speak and like the words pop up on the screen and everything, just like a silent film does and everything. So it's really, really fun, really, really clever, but also superbly well made. Like, it's very well crafted, and you're like, wow, why is this slapstick comedy actually like exceptionally well made? This is like weird and trippy. I wish I could have seen it in a theater, because laughing with the audience, like a packed audience, like enjoying this wild ride, would have been probably the best theater experience all year. But I did get to see it at home, and it was still good, but it's not the same as seeing it in theaters. So, yeah.
All right.
Do you know if it's streaming anywhere? Like,
it is.
No, I bought it on Amazon for like $8, and I'm waiting to. I didn't get a chance to watch it yet, but I know
Okay.
it's cheap, yeah, and even rentals like $3 or something. So look for it.
It's not terrible, yeah. But well, GPO, what's your number 11?
I got Bad Boys, Ride or Die. Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, back up.
Okay.
I've always liked, never really truly loved the Bad Boys franchise. There's on that next level, like this for some people, like my brother is like that next level fan, but this one just hit me, I think, on all the right levels here. It's just a really fun team up of these guys here. A little more emotional core for the Martin Lawrence character here. I think he's really having a lot of fun, which is, you can't tell, I feel, from the press junket. Like, Will Smith's is the usual charming self. I felt like Martin Lawrence was checked out, so I was worried about the movie here. But in the movie, Martin Lawrence is definitely trying, and it's a lot of fun here. You know, if you've seen the other ones, the action hits, the humor hits, and the directors too, I think, have a really good flair. Like, even from the opening scene, you can tell like they're fun, visual filmmakers, and it worked for me. It was really a lot of fun.
The same directors who had their Batgirl movie canned that I would like to see.
I know.
I hear good things about this Bad Boys movie.
More, because like I said, even just from a visual style, like there's even just simple scenes they make with the flair. Like, I would love to see them do a superhero film knowing that. And there is one, evidently.
There's one out there. It's in a vault. That's right. Sure is.
Well, yeah, that movie, Bad Boys, just missed my honorable mention. I thought it was pretty good. It's just like, I really like the Martin Lawrence stuff being like, oh shit, Mike, we in it, like shit, like all the comedic stuff from him, like just like kind of like made it good for me. So yeah, if it wasn't for that, I don't know if it would have, but that's what kind of like was the stand up for me, was Martin Lawrence for sure. But
it definitely is the funniest Bad Boys movie, that's for sure. And as far as fun is, I think it might be the
maybe that's what took me to the next level. Yeah, the humor hit. Yeah.
I'll just say, like, his obsession with like sugar is like the best. I love that.
Yeah.
So, but Paul, what do you got for your number 11?
I will no longer give money to Will Smith. My number 11 is Monkey Man.
Okay.
I go with Monkey Man. Anyone think that?
No, because a lot of us just had it on our mentions. We really like it.
But
but it's very good. Yeah.
You were holding off on it like me. But I mean, it's kind of a you killed my family and I'm going to kill you action movie, but set in a place that I've never seen a movie set before of this genre. And Dev Patel coming out of nowhere, directing exceptionally well. I mean, very particular in the action scenes that I've never seen him do before. He also delivers exceptionally well. With Jordan Peele at the helm as a producer, I mean, just it looked great. And over at the Movie Guys, we have the Han Solo rule. You know, like we have different rules about movies. Like Star Wars is already the greatest movie ever. Then Han Solo shows up. Another one would be the Charlton Copley rule. Any movie he's in is worth watching, whether it's Gringo or Free Fire or
True.
Hardcore Henry, especially.
He's in
Maleficent.
2 revenge movies because he's also in Boy Kills World. He's a hype
Oh, is
man.
he?
He's a
Okay.
hype
Yeah.
man.
He's in
He's like
that, yeah.
He's a very similar role in both movies, actually, in 2 similar movies. Yeah, it's weird.
And the action sequences here, which don't involve Copley, but they're very long, very creative. There aren't many, but when they happen, they go. It's like Dev Patel may not be making a movie like this again. So when he did, he went all out. I mean, and again, we talked about keeping budgets low. He definitely did. I think it cost $10 million and it made 100 and something. Or it made maybe 100. Not even that, but doesn't matter. When you spend 10, you're going to make money. And so hopefully he gets to make whatever he wants to make again. And I don't know what genre it'll be in, but he knocked this one out of the park.
Yeah, for sure. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, there's another one I just watched yesterday for the first time. So yeah, it was good though. But Austin, what do you got for your?
Yeah, no, number 11 is still probably my favorite horror movie of the year so far. I mean, hopefully we'll get some better ones, even better ones later. But it's Late Night with the Devil. All right, no puns. Cool. As a fan of 70s talk shows, I go back and watch a lot of Merv Griffin or Dick Cavett, things like that. They perfectly kind of got that 70s aesthetic going here, with the actual way it's filmed. I think David Dastmalchian is kind of a new kind of cool horror guy. He's doing all these kind of crazy horror movies, and he gives an astonishingly great performance in this one, a really good horror performance. The guy who plays the James Randi part, there's a guy basically playing the role of James Randi, the skeptic, kind of debunking everything he sees here. He's great as well. I apologize, I don't have the actor's name in front of me, but he's also very good. And just I love the set design, the way it's shot. Yeah, even the little in-between stuff, during the commercial breaks is really good. I really vibe with it, especially again as a fan of that era of talk shows and whatnot. Just really clicked with me. The worst thing about this movie is there were like 9 logos at the beginning of the movie. It got to the point where it was almost comedic. We sat in the theater. There's like there's a logos for a thing. Oh, this studio, that studio. There's like, I swear to God, there was like 9 of them. I counted it. So I started counting them up. I was like, what the hell? Can we just get to the damn movie already? Jesus Christ! How much money do they scrape up from all these people?
Put up 5. Then put up 4.
Yeah.
That was the worst thing, but really good. It might go on about 2 minutes too long. I think if it would have cut off at a certain point, I would have been even more happy with it. I think it takes it just one scene too far. But even then, I can't discount the previous like 85 minutes that comes before it because it's really great, and it gets some really good practical effects, some really good stuff going on there. So I'm in a fairly small budget movie, and I always appreciate these ones that can break out, and it became kind of a hit and stuck around the theaters for a long time. Good word of mouth. So Late Night with the Devil was a lot of fun. It's on Shudder right now if you want to check it out.
And I do want to throw out there that Jordan was right. It was a very niche argument that I had with some people about the found footage thing, but a broader argument about the Late Night with the Devil is the fact, like a lot of people are complaining about this, is the fact that apparently the artwork that you see displayed in the film
fuck out of here.
was AI generated. That's what people are like.
It's like for like one thing on a door, like who gives a shit? Like just stop. Who cares?
Well, one of the things I wanted to shout out about Late Night with the Devil also is that's one of the best technical movies of the year for me, because they do the black and white stuff when they're doing like the off-air stuff, and then the color stuff, and they even changed the format of the screen. You can watch when they're doing the on-air stuff, it goes into like a box, and then when they do the behind-the-scenes stuff, it like widens out and like becomes like a bigger kind of like widescreen format. So I appreciated that. So yeah.
Oh, but Jordan, is people in rooms talking. It's literally about a talk show.
Yeah, but like talk shows, I give it.
Paul, that's a running joke with us because Jordan was not a fan of Oppenheimer because there was a lot of guys talking in rooms.
Way too much dialogue in that movie.
Oh, way too much.
But then we made fun of him because he loved Killers of the Flower Moon.
And
we were like, that's a lot of people in rooms talking.
Yeah, it just depends how it's done, because I love Killers of the Flower Moon. Yeah, that was a long one.
Oppenheimer's so much better.
Yeah, but
it is. All right, Jordan.
You won't like.
So I'm not sure if anyone's. Yeah, well, I'm not sure if anyone's gonna punt this one, and maybe I'm curious. But I have Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire.
Oh God, none of us are gonna punt that.
Okay, well, For me, like, so I get the criticism that like some people have is because it's like a Ghostbusters movie, but it's more family friendly. It doesn't have like the edgier like stuff that a lot of people want out of a Ghostbusters movie. But I just kind of just like take myself out of that and just have fun with it. And I think that it's a fun time. I really appreciated a lot of the like practical sets that they had. Like the firehouse really feels lived in. You get to see like the like upstairs rooms. You get to see like the family dynamic. You get to see all of that stuff. I thought was just really, really fun. I thought that they brought back a lot of the original cast. Actually gave them stuff to do instead of just making them cameos. That actually, especially Dan Aykroyd. I mean, like, you may or may not like what he's doing, but he has stuff to do. And Ernie Hudson also, and like I didn't even mind some of the cameo stuff, like the Patton Oswalt. Like I didn't mind that stuff in there. Kumail, that was like a take it or leave it kind of thing. I don't know, but I mean,
the epitome though of here's my cameo.
I mean, he's in there a little more than a cameo, I feel like, but I don't know, but not much more. Yeah, yeah, but yeah, like, and I like the whole aspect of like the Frozen Empire. That's the like title and like the whole thing of the movie where everything freezes over and there's a ghost that just freezes it over.
In the last 10 minutes of the movie, yeah.
Well, I mean, they fight the ghost at the last 10 minutes. It freezes over before.
Well, it's because the
it freezes over in the last 10 minutes of the movie.
The whole movie is a rom-com. It's focused on a
Yeah.
relationship that happens in the film, and that's like the whole gist of the film. And then you get 10 minutes of action.
Well, also for me, if Paul Rudd can do no wrong, I'll watch anything Paul Rudd's in. So I appreciate him in these movies, and yeah,
watch
like I don't even
Halloween
mind
6,
like
Chris and Michael Myers, and then tell me he can do no wrong.
The fourth best Halloween movie. Fuck yeah, let's go.
Well, I've seen it, and he's fine in it. So that's one of the few ones I have seen because I watched it at Austin's house. So, but yeah, so I had fun with it, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be in the minority. I guess I am, so that's fine. But like I had a lot of fun.
It's very empty.
Yeah, I thought it was entertaining overall, but like it wasn't anything special to me. It's just it was.
But the music though, they brought me back with like all the original music and the sound effects and like all the props and all that stuff. There's a lot of that kind of stuff. So
the problem I had with it was, like you mentioned, the last 10 minutes they battle Garaka, but they spend most of the movie setting it up, which means it's a lot of people in rooms talking.
Yeah, that is true. but when you had a lot of good humor and I don't know, like if it's interesting enough for me, like just depends. Like there's no rhyme or reason to when I do or don't like people in rooms talking. It's just a personal thing. so yeah, but I did want to shout out. We got some people in the chat kind of playing along. Malcolm says that his number 12 of the year was the Garfield movie, apparently. He had a lot of fun with that, I guess. I skipped that one, but he also liked Arthur and the King. That was his number 11, so that's fine.
I know what that is.
But
Arthur the King, the Mark dog movie. Yeah, and that
way too long.
And then
it's fine. The trailer is the entire movie. You watch the trailer, you've seen the whole movie.
Yeah, right.
The entire movie.
Yeah,
I'll talk about it later. But this year was all about the cat, baby.
Yeah.
True. This is the year of the cat. Like, good God.
And then Brian Nussbaum had the Bike Rider for number 12, and then he had Love Lies Bleeding for number 11. So yeah.
All right. Well,
but anyways,
get back to it. Wolfman, you're up with your number 10 in the top 10 now. What you got?
All right. So I will eventually. There are ones on my list that will be punts. I know they are, but these bottom 4, that's the ones that are that I think I've only seen. And the next one I'm going to mention is one that is sort of mixed. There are some hardcore fans of this movie, and then there are some people who are like, this is one of his weaker films. Yorgos Lanthimos is one of my favorite filmmakers.
Just say the movie so I can punt it.
I actually drove a long time to see it, and I actually loved Kinds of Kindness.
Punt. I'm trying to get to that so we can punt it. Punt.
Oh, punt. Oh, it is on there.
Hey, when we do this, say the movie first in case somebody wants
Okay.
to punt it before you start going into your diatribe about it.
Right.
I'm punting Kinds of Kindness. It's higher on my list. So
Cool.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yes. Get to the movie first. Let's see if anybody punts it. If they don't punt it, then talk about it. All right. There you go.
Yeah.
This is how this works. All right.
All right.
That's fine.
Well, JPO, what do you got for 10?
When I was a young boy, my father took me into the city to see a marching band.
Oh, okay.
He said, "Son, when you grow up." No, okay. My number 10 is Hitman, the Richard Linklater film.
Actually, we're gonna punt. Yeah, we're gonna punt that.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So there you go. So we will get to that very shortly. I'll still get it up there for you, 10 Hitman.
Yeah.
But we'll put that. All right.
Yeah.
Paul, we are back to you, sir.
I love Richard Linklater. I live in shame not having seen that movie yet.
Ooh,
Yeah.
get to it, yeah. Netflix.
Good.
But
Yeah,
for
talk
me,
about it.
next up is another doc, The Greatest Night in Pop.
Okay.
Oh, that's
No.
like high in my honorable mentions.
But I have
forgot
seen
to
it, and
mention that. Yeah.
It's really good. My whole family sat down and watched it together.
Yeah, it's if you don't know, it's about the making of the USA for Africa, We Are the World song and video that they had to do in LA overnight. And there are more stories in it than I thought there would be. And Lionel Richie and Huey Lewis come off as absolutely cool dudes in their testimonials. But the best part about it is they keep cutting to the clock and they keep running into stumbles from Bob Dylan not knowing how music works, or Stevie Wonder wanting to do the whole thing in Swahili, to people dropping out because they're just idiots, Waylon Jennings, and other issues. Are they going to get it done? I honestly was like, are they going to get this done? Wait a minute, they did it 40 years ago. Yes, they're going to get it done. So to bring up that kind of will they or won't they vibe in that documentary was actually pretty impressive. So that did it for me. I thought it was really good.
Another example of a good one documentary.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Yeah, and I worry about streaming documentaries. A lot of times they're out to, whether it's a hatchet job on somebody or just jumping onto a quick thing. Hey, there was some scandal. We're going to make a documentary all about it as quick as we possibly can. That kind of stuff worries me. But obviously, someone took their time on this one, gathered up all of the right footage, interviewed the right people, and I highly enjoyed it. It's very entertaining.
They literally had a documentary about the Trump shooting like days after it happened. I'm like, really? That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. But Austin, what do you got for your number 10?
I also have a documentary. I'm going to shout out a good one too. So we'll see if anybody else has their own list. And it's a streaming one, but it's a good one. It is Jim Henson, Idea Man.
Ooh.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah,
write it down.
Yeah, so this is Jim Henson Idea Man. This is a Disney Plus documentary, but it's directed by Ron Howard. This is the second Ron Howard movie he's made that's not in theaters, and it should have been in theaters because 13 Lives, his Amazon movie, was also not in theaters, and that would have made for a great theater watch. I think this movie could have made at least a little bit of money, much like the Mr. Rogers documentary. I think people would have come out and at least checked this one out because it's an excellent behind the scenes, with a lot of great footage of Jim Henson. It's got stuff going back all the way to his public access days and these shows and talk show appearances he did way back in the late 60s, early 70s, showing how far back he's done and just how much of kind of a perfectionist he was and really honing the craft, and he took it super seriously. I mean, and literally if the worst part of the documentary about the guy is that he was such a workaholic that it put a little bit of a strain on his family, but they understood that he was a workaholic, but he always was. Or the worst thing about him was, Dark Crystal got bad reviews when it came out, or mixed reviews. So did Labyrinth. You know what I mean? He put a lot of heart into that. And was a little disappointed by it. That's the worst thing. He wasn't a drug user or an alcoholic, and nobody hated him. Everybody loves him, even though he was a super OCD or whatever. But everybody says nothing but great things about him. Ron Howard, the way he puts it together, he lets Jim actually kind of almost narrate kind of a lot of it with a lot of the old interview footage and things like that, kind of going through it. All the talking heads are there, but again, a lot of stuff I really didn't know about him, and a lot of really great behind the scenes stuff for those movies and obviously the Muppet Show and everything. I just thought it was really, really fascinating. I always the older I get, the more I appreciate some of the stuff he did, and you know how much care he took into making these things real. So, yeah, if you haven't checked it out, watch it before Disney Plus throws it into oblivion like they do with all their other stuff on their streaming service, and just it gets lost in the ether because they tend to do that. So watch it as soon as possible because
there's about a dozen things they need to bring back to their streaming.
It might disappear. So go watch it before the year is up, before they chuck it down a well somewhere. So yeah, Jim Henson Idea Man is another really, really good one you should check out. So
I haven't seen it, but I'm sure Won't You Be My Neighbor is a good comparison.
Yeah, it is a very good comparison of just like a good guy who like cared about what he did and just wanted to like bring happiness to people. Like it's very, very similar to that of just a good dude who wanted to make great entertainment, you know, for everybody. So yeah, if you enjoyed Won't You Be My Neighbor, watch this. I think you will get a very similar vibe for it. It's very, very good.
Cool.
So there you go.
And apparently they just dropped a Sesame Street documentary. I haven't seen it yet, but I heard about it though.
There's a lot of Sesame Street footage in that one, obviously, because Henson was very much involved in early Sesame Street. So yeah,
and Disney Plus dropped that new Daisy Ridley movie too. I need to check out that Young Woman in the Sea. I think is what it's called.
Oh yeah. Well, my next one is probably going to be a pun also, but my number 10 is Challengers.
That is a big
punt. Huge.
Okay.
Big time.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I
so
figured
there for you, but yeah, it is going to be a punt. All right, so we are getting back around the horn. So Wolfman, what you got?
So Challengers is better than Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Just checking.
Yes,
it is better for me.
Not by a lot.
Not by a whole lot, just barely.
Not by a lot. Yeah, just one spot higher. But
all right, so I love long titles, I guess, because my next one is "Do not expect too much from the end of the world."
Jesus Christ! You're already like burning through my 1,000 banner thing.
Oh, going for the banner.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm joking.
Okay.
I've never heard of this.
No, it's
I'm gonna look it up right now so I can get the title right, Wolfman. But please go ahead.
It is a movie original. That is a streaming service that is like a curated kind of streaming service of sorts,
Jesus
and this
Christ,
premiered.
I'm exhausted from typing this.
This premiered at festivals.
What the title is.
Here it comes. Here it comes. Finally, I'm getting there. Okay, here we go.
Okay, good. All right.
Here it comes. Just wait about 30 seconds and it'll be here. All right,
yeah, there we go. There we go. But no, I mean, hey, that is a very interesting title. If you see a title like that, you're like, okay. I mean, that is
the title matches the length. Holy shit!
So,
it's 2 hours and 43 minutes. Jesus Christ!
Yeah, it is a long one, and this is not a movie that is for Austin or Jordan because a lot of the movie is like is about driving, traveling places, talking to people, doing all that kind of stuff, and it's like 2 hours and 46 minutes of that. But what it is it's like a satire from acclaimed like foreign director Radu Jude, who this is my introduction to him, but it's about this kind of this Uber driver who is also working on a film set, and there's this like new kind of safety in the workplace video they're making, like a safety in the workplace kind of movie that they're making, and so it's kind of a scathing satire on like capitalism and also on like the movie industry itself, and just kind of talking about, you know, in fact, the greatest cameo of the year, Yue Boll is in this movie. I kid you not. He actually has a cameo in here, and she like interviews him in the film. It's very documentary style because she's talking to all these people and like interviewing these people. And she goes to Yue Boll, and he plays himself in the film, so it's like great. And yeah, this is really funny, really entertaining, but also I felt like I had a lot to say, and I feel like it's very timely to like today's generation dealing with like the things that we deal with in the world today. I feel like it's very timely to that, so it's one I definitely recommend. If y'all have Mubi, check it out. Mubi's a much smaller streaming service, so it's harder.
Nobody has Mubi. I've heard people pulling it on podcasts. Nobody has that.
Yeah.
I do.
No.
I did the test. I did the test month. Yeah, it had some stuff.
Yeah.
That sounds like Nuvi, that thing promoted by Maria Menounos before
M-U-M-O?
the
How do I
movie.
spell this?
Mubi.
Like Tubi with an M.
Yeah.
It's actually fairly high end, I think. Isn't it a lot of Criterion stuff on there?
Yeah, it's got like a lot of like critically acclaimed, like it's got like some Park Chan-wook movies on there. It's got like, you know, Bong Joon-ho stuff. Like it's got some really like acclaimed directors and all that stuff. But it's also got some kind of more fun movies as well too. So yeah.
All right.
Cool. Yeah, and I forgot to mention, Brian said his number 10 was Orion in the Dark, and then Malcolm's was A Quiet Place Day 1 for their 10. So,
All right.
just in the chat. But JPO, what do you have for your number 9?
Give me a second. I'm downloading the movie. What was it? I think I know. It's one more. Yeah, Beverly Hills Cop. Axel F. Actually got number 9.
Okay.
It was a punt for me.
Axel. Hey,
Okay.
all right, cool.
So yeah.
All
Really
right,
like
let me get it on the ticker at least right there so we can show it off. But all right, Beverly Hills Cop Axel F, which will be a
The
punch.
new title, and then this is the name of the character. Took from Top Gun Maverick. You know, can't wait for
Yeah,
that.
'cause we're so afraid of numbers in Hollywood.
That's
We can't
12.
just have Beverly Hills
Yeah.
Cop 4. You know,
Yeah.
with Axel
No.
F. Yeah. Can't even use the whole name. Can't even say Axel Foley. Just Axel F.
Yeah.
Axel F.
But
All right.
well, yeah, Paul, what you got for
Next
number
up
9?
for me is Unfrosted.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
So what the bad reviews don't get, and it's been brought up here already, is that this is a satire.
Yes.
This has the most jokes in a movie you'll get outside of maybe Deadpool and Wolverine. If you don't like the joke, wait, there's another one coming right behind it. There's even a January 6th joke involving cereal mascots that's absolutely bizarre and hilarious and made me fall over. Yeah, Seinfeld wrote this with his old sitcom buddies during the pandemic and basically spoofing the self-importance of a lot of the stuff we've already talked about, these documentaries about dumb shit that was, you know, that you never thought would. There's like a doc series about Uber. We got Beanie Babies movies and there's Tetris movies. How about Pop-Tarts? So why not? So they create a whole thing with rival CEOs of Post and Kellogg, and you got wild cereal geniuses. They weave in the space race. I mean, I just thought this movie was hilarious and a very pure comedy. And the cast is out to lunch. There's so many names in it. It's just ridiculous. So,
JPO's joke that he does these questions on his show about trivia about what movie co-stars, blah, blah. And his one big one for this year will be Unfrosted, starring all these comedians. This person, this person, this person, this person, this person, this person.
I think I've done that.
That's all 15 of them or however many are in this movie.
no, I think I wrote them down. Seinfeld, Gaffigan, Christian Slater, Hugh Grant, Kyle Mooney, Mikey Day, Patrick Warburton, Amy Schumer, Cedric the Entertainer, Earthquake, Kyle Dunnigan, Sebastian Maniscalco, Beck Bennett, Melissa McCarthy, Jack McBrayer, Thomas Lennon, Bobby Moynihan, James Marsden, Tony Hale, Maria Baklava, Dean Norris, Peter Dinklage, Bill Burr, George Wallace, Ronnie Cheng, Cedric Yarborough, John Hamm, John Slattery, Fred Armisen, Daryl Hammond, Dan Levy, Andy Daly, and Felix Solis, who played the villain in Ozark and is hilarious.
Did you get all that, JPO? Did you write all that down for your question
You
at the end of the year?
I feel like I've asked this one already. That might have been my year, halfway the year one. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, and it has the funniest opening line, I think, if I'm paraphrasing, but a little kid goes into a diner and he sits down and he says, 2 Pop-Tarts, please. Leave the box. Which I just thought was hilarious. And then that leads Seinfeld's character to tell him the story about how, I had that. I wrote what's on the back of that box. And he tells the whole story.
Yeah.
And
That was
Well-
actually not a bad impression.
Despite it being on my worst of the year, it's probably way worse because I haven't seen a lot of the bad ones. But I do appreciate the Mad Men stuff that they do.
I can
Oh my
recommend
God,
you
that
some
was
Tubi. I
hilarious.
can recommend you
Yeah.
some Tubi movies, Jordan, if you want to see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you want.
I'll drop you a big
Only
long
up to
list
you.
at the end of the year. You can watch whatever you want off that list. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
If you feel like it. You can binge a lot.
But
All right.
we'll go to Austin. What do you got for your number?
Yeah,
9?
my number 9 is it was a big surprise. Kind of came over and hit me really hard. It's One Life, the Anthony Hopkins movie.
Oh yeah, that's really.
did that open?
Yeah.
Wow, did that do
Yeah,
without,
it was-
without fanfare?
Yeah, it kind of came and went, but I got a chance to see it. It was in theaters for like 2 or 3 weeks. But again, this is another one of these movies where it's one of these historical, like based on a true story things. One of these just really cool stories that is just very simple storytelling, but it really affects you. It was really surprising how much it got to me by the end of it. But the basic premise is that Anthony Hopkins plays the older, version of this character, this guy who and we do get flashbacks. You have flash forwards and flashbacks with a younger guy playing the character, where it was during kind of World War II and then the rise of the Third Reich, when the Nazis were taking over all the different countries, and he's in Czechoslovakia, and they're trying to get all these kids that kind of refugee kids over to America and trying to get them out before the Nazis kind of invade Czechoslovakia and take over the government and everything. So he's trying to get them train passes and get them adopted families and America. And it's based on a true story. This guy ended up getting about 600 some odd children, out of these refugee camps and into temporary homes in the United States into safety. I think it's just one of these really cool, like, true stories that I had never heard of. And it really gets to you just the way it's shot and the way it kind of bounces back and forth between the two characters. And it was a famous thing where he went on a BBC show and they reunited him with some people that he saved like later in life. And just really, really cool story. Again, told very simply, but very effectively. Just really strong performances. Helena Bonham Carter has a part as his mom, kind of in the flashback sequences. But yeah, let's just say there wasn't a dry eye in the theater by the end of this movie. So it really got to everybody. And this is kind of a sleeper movie that I'm really trying to get the word out on, especially now that you can rent it and whatnot. A movie that kind of came and went without much fanfare, but excellent performances and just a really heartwarming, great story here. So yeah, my number 9 is One Life. Check it out.
What a lack of hype, because that story sounded absolutely captivating. Yeah,
the story is very, very captivating. And again, it hits you out of nowhere because I didn't even know much about the movie, but as it goes along, you get more and more invested, and you're just completely in for the ride, by the end of it, and just totally invested in what happens. So,
and Anthony Hopkins is incredible.
He's excellent. And the gentleman who plays the younger version of him is really good as well. I gotta look up his name, but he's very good as well. He plays the younger version of him, like running around. In Czechoslovakia, it's his name's Johnny Flynn. So yeah, he's a really solid actor as well. So there you go. One Life.
Nice.
Cool. Sounds good. Well, I guess it's on me for my number 9. So my number 9 is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. For my number 9.
Okay, so wait a minute. I have to be within what?
Within 2.
2.
Okay, punt.
Okay. Yeah, so if you have it at 7 or higher, we'll punt it. If you have it at 8, we can talk about it now. But
okay.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So
wait a minute.
What do you have?
No, I have it at 8. Sorry.
No, if you have it at 8, then yeah, we'll go ahead and talk about it. So I'll let Jordan talk about it first, and then we'll bounce to you, Paul, and you can give your thoughts on it. So
sure.
So go ahead, Jordan.
Yeah, so for me, I've talked about my how I'm not a big fan of Planet of the Apes movies in general, at least the remakes. Like the original ones, with Charlton Heston, I actually really love. But then they did the remakes, and for whatever reason, they just didn't connect with me. But now they're going down a path where it's more like fantasy, and I'm kind of more of like a fantasy guy. But it's not like it's fantasy, but with apes, obviously. But they kind of try their best to ground it, and I really appreciate that. And I think that it's a really cool story how the apes are like now becoming the dominant species, and you kind of see what that's like, and then trying to navigate. But you have different ape factions, and they're kind of going against each other. So I'm just really I guess invested in where the story's going, and also too the director Wes Ball. I'm a big fan of the Maze Runner movie, so I'm more of a YA kind of fantasy type of a person. I read a lot of
Twilight.
books.
Loves the Twilight.
No, not Twilight though. I tried to read the first Twilight book and wanted to shoot myself after reading that. It's like all the drama inside a teenage girl's mind. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. I thought that the effects really worked. I thought that all the hunting stuff and I don't know, just the way that they kind of came together and they bonded. And then they still made Caesar a thing in it that worked pretty well. So yeah, I just had a lot of fun with it. And I've always talked about how the number one reason why I go to the movies is to be entertained. And this was an entertaining movie from beginning to end. It had great cinematography too, just the landscape and all of that. So I appreciate it. So yeah, I have Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
All right, well, Paul, you have it at number 8, so hit us with your thoughts on Kingdom.
Yeah, I'll just say for summer special effects movies, these have all been remarkably smart science fiction with great casting. That first one I thought was just outstanding, and the whole franchise, of course, being based on the premise of this is all man's hubris And I think that's just great. And we're watching it all kind of play out in real life, messing with technology and stuff. So that's all fascinating. Then you throw in like Woody Harrelson, then you get like Jason Clarke. And now, I mean, these are great actors in this movie too. Kevin Durant playing Proximus, is that his name? And he's like, he was great. And Owen Teague, who was so great on Bloodline, playing young Ben Mendelsohn, is the lead there. Then they throw in William H. Macy, shows up as well, like in human form, and he's very good. But yeah, this is just so visual effects so good you don't even you take it for granted. I don't even know. You talk about West Ball. I don't even know how you direct this movie because you've got a shot where things are going to happen in it that aren't on set remotely. I mean, to create it's just I don't even know how you create it. So that's super impressive. Not to mention just a really well told story with a great ending. Not like Charlton Heston on the beach, legendary, but still a really, really good one that's dark and fascinating. So you never know what you're going to get from a fourth. This is a good one. Pirates, Indy.
I compared it to
like Toy Story, Mad Max. The fourth was good. This is a good fourth.
I compared it to Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I think it's a great setup movie for what's to come. So hopefully the sequel's even better. Is what I thought. It was good setting up this next group of characters in this next time period, and so that means hopefully because Dawn was better than Rise, I'm hoping this next one will be even better.
My only real issue with it is I did feel it was like kind of too long. Like I don't know, I felt like I was like in the theater for like a long time. I know it's not that long, but it's like I felt like I was. It was just.
I can see where you would think that. I had enough action for me though, because it just like one after another action sequence, then a big finale. Crazy action.
Yeah.
But I can see where you feel that way. It's a sprawling story. It's huge.
And also Wes Ball. He's apparently on tap to direct a Legend of Zelda movie. I don't know if it's going to happen, but there's like talks of it. So yeah, and also I was going to just shout out that Brian Nussbaum also had Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. That is number 9, and then Malcolm had Bad Boys Ride or Die. So.
All right, Wolf.
But,
one that'll be finally universally punted. This is not just going to be one person punting it. That is Civil War.
Yeah, that's a punt.
Yeah,
that is a punt. Yep.
All right. There you go. All right. Well, then we'll go to JPO for your number 8.
Let's keep punting because I'm pretty sure it will. Challengers
is a punt. Yes.
Okay.
All right. All right. Well, Paul, you had Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes at number 8. So yeah, we'll go to my number 8. I know it was punted once before. We'll see if it still gets punted. Is Hitman?
Hang on. Yeah, we have it 2 spots higher. That's a punt, right?
2 spots or more higher. That's a punt.
Yeah. Okay. So punt.
Okay, so we'll keep punting Hitman for just a little while longer. All right, well, that was easy enough. We're back around to Wolfman again. So there you go. Well, I mean, I feel like we'll get some punts for a little while because, we might have a lot of similar ones near the top. So,
well, wait, no, back to Jordan, right? Because he said it was 2 spots high, so it's like
that's right.
That's
right, Jordan. That's right, Jordan. Sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that.
Wow.
Jordan.
Already on to me. Okay, that went quick. So my number 8 is The Fall Guy.
Okay.
Okay, so
other people had it on their list.
That was my 12. So yeah,
this is 12. So yeah, once again, we will go to you first, Jordan, and then we'll go to Paul to talk about it because we punted it earlier. So yes.
Oh yeah, that's right. He had it on there. So yeah, like I didn't expect to have as much fun as I did with The Fall Guy. Like it's one of my biggest surprises. I wasn't sure what to expect. I kind of went. Well, I've been trying to go into movies now with like lower expectations. Like this movie's not going to be that good, and so that way I can be pleasantly surprised. So I intentionally lower my expectations, and yeah, I thought that it was a great love letter to stunt work. I saw this movie 3 times in theaters. Like I just had so much fun. I'm a big Ryan Gosling fan. Like I think that like he can do just a lot of stuff. He can do comedy, he can do action, he can do drama, just like super, super well. And then you throw in Emily Blunt, and I feel like it's a movie that can appeal to just a lot of different generations. Like I went and saw with my dad once because that's one he wanted to see because he grew up with like Lee Majors and like the original Fall Guy, and then they're like he's like crying in the truck listening to Taylor Swift, so you get some of the like Gen Alpha or Gen Z in there, that kind of thing. And yeah, like I just think that there's this really awesome stunt work that's just really, really cool. And I found myself laughing pretty hard and like a good majority of the jokes too. So if you can do that, then sometimes a lot of the other stuff doesn't always matter to me. Like, could you sold me on that? So yeah, the Fall Guy, I thought it was pretty good.
All right, Paul, you had the Fall Guy number 12.
Yeah, I won't say too much more, but I'm shocked it didn't find an audience. He had, two actors coming off the two biggest movies of last year from Barbenheimer, and it's a very likable, not trying to be anything more than, a fun action comedy with romance. But I thought it succeeded on all those levels. And David Leitch, right, was the director, who is one of the best. I mean, so all the action sequences were creative, and it was really fun. And Ryan Gosling continues to just underplay roles that could be worse if they're overplayed. And his undercutting expectations for a part always gets laughs and always is funny. So yeah, I'm a big fan. My comedy boyfriend, Ryan Gosling.
Yep.
So I think it's going to make a spectacular rewatch too. I can't wait to see it again.
There you go.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely does.
Yeah, 3 times. I got imagine that second. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, cool. So and let's see, some people that I don't know if anyone put in their number 8 yet. So Brian has Furiosa for their number 8. Malcolm has Long Legs for 8. So, but we'll go to Wolf. What do you have for your number 7?
Well, Malcolm just mentioned one of them, and it ties in with amazing stunt work. Furiosa, a Mad Max song.
All right,
that would be a punt. So
a punt. Okay.
Punt.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll go to JPO for your number 7.
A Quiet Place, Day 1.
Okay. All right. Is there anybody?
No. Will there be spoilers? Because I haven't seen it.
Well, there was that one scene. Oh shit! I've really dug this trilogy so far here. This one again continues to work here. It does a little bit borrow from the first two, which I think you kind of can't get out of the way of. But again, Lupita Nyong'o, who is coming from a different character perspective as well. She's sick. She's nearing the end of her life here. So she kind of has a kind of fun, different play as well. One of the Wolf brothers, who then later on she meets another guy. The relationship between them, I just think is really good here. The tense is here. The emotional is here. It all just kind of really works. Plus, I love the fact that at the end of the day, all this girl wants is to protect her cat and get some.
Yeah.
Boy, did that speak to me. Boy, did that speak to me. I'd be protecting my kitty and looking for some za. So, it kind of just spoke to me on many levels.
But yeah, and also I'll add that's a great 4DX watch. I saw it in 4DX, and I saw it with Chris Scott, and he bawled his eyes out and then said it was his number 1 of the year. So that happened. So
it's almost as good as that Megamind movie. Excellent.
Yeah, almost as well, better. You said that
5 out of 5
1,
plus.
so.
5 out of 5 plus.
Yeah. But on the same level, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So, but we'll go to Paul for your number 7.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah.
My turn.
I didn't give you spoilers, did I?
Your number 7.
I don't know.
No,
Your first
spoiler.
sentence was about what the state of Lupita's character, and I don't know what that is.
Okay.
I don't know
That's
what
at
that.
the
I
very
haven't read about
I
that.
feel you.
So
Okay.
I went.
That
I'm
is
out.
right at the beginning. Okay.
No worries.
I'll
I'm going to see it tomorrow night because it's going to leave theaters. If I'm not careful, so I got to go.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
It's a good theater movie too. So yeah.
I went to Washington I did travel, so it's a whole thing. My number 7, I just looked up real quick because I thought about those. I looked at the movies I've seen this year and I wrote them all down. And then I right before I got on here, I went, oh yeah, the stuff I saw in Telluride. So I looked those up, and one of them came out June 28th, and that's a movie called Daddy-O. It took a long time introducing it, but it's a very quick type, Austin.
Oh, no, I got you.
D-A-D-D-I-O.
I just want to see. I'm just going to look at it, see if there's a dash or not. That's all.
Nope.
I
Daddy-O.
unfortunately missed this one. It played like an hour away from me, and I was wanting to go see it, but
So it's not the 1958 Daddy-O. It was the
It is not,
2024
no.
Daddy-O.
This
Okay.
is
And
Sean
there
Penn.
is
I wanted
that.
that
There is a
copy.
dash.
This is Sean Penn and Dakota Johnson, and it's the whole film takes place in a cab ride. Penn picks her up at the airport in JFK, I think, takes her to downtown New York. I think. Am I that right? Yeah. And there just couldn't be two different characters. Penn is, blue collar. She's very, high end type. Has has boyfriend issues. But the big thing is their conversation. It's just fantastic. And if you ever thought Dakota Johnson couldn't bring it, I mean, she holds her own with Sean Penn the whole movie. She's great. She produced it too, I believe. And it's just fascinating.
The trailer, it says that Dakota Johnson is a revelation. I don't know what that.
I still don't know what that means. It's a running joke. Me and Richie don't know what that means every time it pops up in a trailer.
Yeah.
It means she has revealed a new side of herself.
Okay.
So, yeah, like Dev Patel would be a revelation in Monkey Man. She's like very good actress in this, playing this character, and you know she's dealing with self-esteem, and he's like full of himself, and they have different culture clashes as well. And honestly, it's just their conversation. That's the whole movie, and they made it very entertaining. So I love that film. We had a great time watching it.
So it's a long conversation in a car, Jordan, not in a room. So maybe
so you might like it because it's in a car.
Well, if it makes someone's top 12, I'm willing to give it a shot.
The transportation angle, I think
yeah.
My buddy.
It's like it sounds like Taxi Cab Confessions, the movie. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Good to know. Shout out to Dakota for having movies on both ends of the spectrum this year. So that's good to know.
That's true.
Yeah,
true.
It's true.
I think she put out a third one where she's a woman who tries lesbianism, and that's the one most people seem to be excited about.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That's actually not bad.
Again, it's in my middle. I
It's
like
not
it.
bad?
I'm not okay.
Yeah. Well,
Austin
Austin,
her crying.
I can see her.
yeah.
I can see her overproducing this year because Daddy-O couldn't have taken too long to make. I mean, a couple of weeks maybe.
Yeah.
Shooting, but yeah, but then they do a lot to keep it interesting in one location. So
Nice,
they run into construction so they can talk longer. You know, all that good stuff. It's good. And Penn is great. I haven't seen Penn be awesome in a long time either. Yeah, he's really cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, Austin, what do you got? For
my 7 will get punted because I also at number 7, like Wolf, had Furiosa, so I believe that's getting punted.
Yes, that is.
Yes.
punted.
All right. There you go. All right. Well, Jordan.
So my number 7 was one I didn't expect to even be on this list, but was Inside Out 2.
All right.
All right. So
Wait, refresh me again.
2 spaces or higher. 2 spaces or higher.
Punt.
Yeah.
Punt.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
We will punt Inside Out 2. All right.
Sounds
There you
good.
go. All right.
Then just in the chat, just keeping up with Malcolm, he had The Fall Guy at number 7. Brian had Civil War. So
Okay.
but Wolf, what do you have for number 6?
All right, never thought I would drop down this far, but Dune Part 2.
All right. That is still a punt.
All right.
Punt.
Ooh, okay.
All right. Okay.
Well, then
JPO.
JPO, what do you have for 6?
I'm now at Inside Out 2.
Okay.
All right.
T.O.
We'll probably talk about it now, right?
Well, it
was a
depends on.
punt
So it's a
for-
number 6. Paul, do you have it 2 spots or higher than a
Yeah,
6?
keep punting.
Keep
Yeah,
punting. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll keep punting.
Oh.
All right.
All right.
Well, there you go. All right. Well, Paul, we're at your number 6.
My number 6 is Horizon, an American Saga Part 1.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, we had an honorable mention, but nobody else. So go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in my honorable mentions.
Well, Costner's one of the greats, and I'm the biggest Costner apologist on the planet. I just love the big swings he takes. You know, he made this sprawling super epic with tons of different stories. Doesn't do any of them poorly. Some are unfinished, but I can't wait for the second part. I know it's getting postponed, and the press did it a disservice by saying pulled from theaters. Well, they want everyone to see the first one, and they didn't in theaters, so they're going to wait for it to have a run on home viewing, and then they'll put it out in theaters. So it's technically postponed from all I know, and you would do yourself a favor to see it on the big screen, even if you see part 1 at home. Great character actor, rogues gallery, you know, Jeff Fahey, James Russo, Will Patton, they all show up, and every time they do, I got giddy.
Yep.
Yeah, I just thought there was a real good sense of the early West, literally people pounding stakes into the ground to lay their claim. You got the Apache attacking those villages. You've got people like Costner's character coming into town, and they're like trading horses or something, and he gets involved in this woman who kills her husband because she's being abused, and the whole husband's family is after her, and he gets embroiled in that. And then there's a whole wagon train. I mean, there's just so much going on, and none of it I found bad. Like, I just was like, this is all pretty entertaining. And of course, it's shot exceptionally well, and a lot of new stuff in there I hadn't seen before as well, and some surprises. And real fun watching people like, oh, Luke Wilson shows up, and what is he going to do? So
Yeah.
that's fun checking out the new actors that pop up here and there in surprise parts you didn't expect. So I thought it was great. I'll ride with Costner any day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I promise you this is not a spoiler, but at the end you get a little montage of like things to come, and it looks like there's some really cool stuff to come. So I'm looking forward to what they got. So yeah, but Austin, what do you got for you?
Yeah, I don't know. It got brought up earlier. I don't know if it'll get punted again. My number 6 is Civil War.
That is a punt.
5.
Okay, but Jordan, you have it 2 or higher than that?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay, so we will keep punting Civil War. All right, so Jordan, your number 6 then.
Yeah, my number 6 is actually Hitman. So,
okay, is that the highest it's going finally?
Could be.
Sounds like it.
I believe so. So yeah, so you had it at number 6. I had it at 8, and then what did JPO did? JPO had it at 10. I'm just getting all the people who had it on their list. So the 3 of us. Okay, so,
All right, I'm gonna go headphones silent.
Okay.
We're not gonna. I'm not gonna spoil anything. We're not gonna spoil.
No,
anything.
I won't.
No.
I won't.
But we'll go. We'll go Jordan, JPO, and then.
Although when he wakes up, it's all a dream
Okay.
at the end. I mean, what a crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, but yeah, this is a movie that was a huge surprise for me because when Glenn Powell first came onto the scene, I didn't know what to think of this guy. I'm like they're like putting a lot of stock in this guy, and I don't know if he's like really that great yet. And like kind of one of those things like, here's your next star, your next leading man. But like he's been working out for me. Like he's actually really good at and yeah, I think it's a really cool story with a lot of twists and turns and like the kind of cool like murder mystery type of thing. I like seeing the guy from The Walking Dead in there, the guy with like the long beard or whatever that he kind of is like an antagonist sort of and like Retta, like she's in there and yeah, like I just have a really fun time seeing like what's gonna happen next. And yeah, I think that the Richard Linklater, like for the most part, like he really works for me. Like I've liked almost everything he's ever put out. So yeah, so I thought it was a good time. So yeah, I was hooked. But JPO, what do you
had it at number 10? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm a little bit of the opposite as far as the starting point because I've been a fan of Glenn Powell for a minute here. I've been championing going, this guy I think can be the next it guy. You know what I mean? He's charming. I mean, I'll say it as one of the said heterosexual males there. He's good looking as shit. Like he's a good looking dude. Like he checks off every box there. And then lately, all of a sudden, in the last year, I think after Maverick, everyone opened their eyes because the dude already has now. Anyone but you checked off his rom-com, checked off his kind of cool character piece in Hitman. Twisters, he's got a big action movie in the summer where he's the lead. So he's checking off all the boxes here, and he's really good in this here too. I wish this was almost a series because I love when he got to play the different styles of Hitman. You know what I mean? He has different hair, he has different styles and acting.
Oh yeah, all the
those
costumes
really
and all. Yeah,
those are really fun sequences. Like just in a greedy way, I want more of that. But everything else of that was really fun here. I thought it worked. The 2 leads are fantastic here. Powell, I think, is truly a star. That shows here. He's worked with Linklater before when everybody wants some, so I think Linklater knew he had a good guy ready. And yeah, well worth checking out.
Yeah. Awesome.
And I had it at my number 8. I watched it today. It was one of the 2 movies I watched today, and both movies that I watched, one still to come, made my top 12. So very, very good stuff. So it was a good night. But yeah, no, it's really good. And again, Glenn Powell, if you want to see his range, like his true range, he's great. And this is, I think, one of the best scripts of the year. It's really well written. I was shocked at how just well written it is, how engrossing it is, and the fact that I looked into it. It's based on a true story of like a real guy who did this. Yeah, and like articles that Richard Linklater dug up about this guy.
And they wrote it together, by the way. Like this is co-written by Powell as well as
yeah. And like you said, I'm forgetting the girl's name. I think she's pretty new to the scene. They have great chemistry. Yeah, I think she's really sexy. They have some really sexy scenes.
She is.
And we're almost there, Paul. About 30 seconds. But yeah, no.
Archeria or Hona, I want to say.
Yeah,
I might have messed that up, but yeah.
But she's excellent, and yeah, just all the different characters that he plays and the personas that he goes in and out of. It's so smooth, like he just plays it so cool. And yeah, all that stuff was just really engaging. Again, just a really, really good script here. And yeah, Powell's the real deal, man. He's got range and he can do it all. So I'm buying into his hype that he's one of these new guys who's going to stick around for a while. Yeah, I think he's really good. So yeah, I'm with it. All right.
And also, if I can find a girl that can be able to role play like that, like I'm sold. She's good.
All right, we're good. Hitman Talk is over, so you're good. But check it out, Paul. It's really good. On Netflix.
And then the ending, right?
Yeah, man. Let me tell you.
That twist at the end. Ooh, no.
I love Linklater so much. I can't wait. I'm so shocked I missed it. But
yeah, please watch it.
That was a good one here. Yeah, co-written by both him and Powell. It's a good script. It's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but yeah, we'll throw it over to Paul. So, what do you got for your number 6?
Oh, that was JPO? I thought that was you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was me, right?
No, that was you. Oh. So, yeah, we're on.
Yeah, you're right.
I think.
So many of you talked about it.
Yeah. But
no, I know we're gonna get there because there's a couple of these movies that like 4 people are gonna have. So we'll just have to kind of navigate this best we can. I'll try. But I will.
Just shout out that Brian had the Fall Guy at 6, and Malcolm had the Bray Wyatt Becoming Immortal documentary at 6.
It's a great doc, even as a wrestling fan. I don't know. All right.
Yeah.
Hey, it's your list. Yeah. All right.
What a Wolf for your number 5 now.
So one that I don't think y'all have on the list. It's called Dee Dee.
Oh, I can't wait to see that.
Oh, it hasn't really come out wide yet, but it's coming soon. I think in the next month or so.
Yeah, it's in limited release right now. It's coming wide soon, but this is one I saw early in the year at the Virtual Sundance Film Festival, and when I watched it at that time, it was like my favorite movie of the year, and I love this Sean Wang, who directed this. This is his first feature directorial debut, but he is already an Oscar nominee. He was Oscar nominated last year for Best Documentary Short for his really great documentary Nine Nine Waipo, which is about his grandmother, his 2 grandmothers. It's 2 grandmothers. It's on 2 different sides of the family, and they live together and they're like living just a happy life. It's such a joyful documentary. Highly recommend it. It's like 17 minutes. Go check it out. And what I love is just what he says about family, because he even puts his real grandma from Nine Nine. She was Nine Nine. He puts Nine Nine in this movie as the grandma character, and it's sort of like a autobiographical look at his life when he was young and back in 2008. And so it has all that nostalgia that just hit me right in the feels, because this has the same kind of stuff of you're lying about your age to get a Facebook account. That's what I did. You are like, you start crushing. You think you're in love, but you're crushing on this one girl, and then she starts following you and starts like liking your stuff, and you can't deal with that. So then you like unfriend her and block her for a little bit. Then you add her back, and all this wild stuff. That's like feels like it's very true to just life of a teenager. The way they talk is so spot on. Like he understands, like it's my favorite script of the year because he understands just how young teenagers that are like 13 years old speak to each other. It is just excellent. The kid performance is great. From I want to get his name right here. It was Isaac Wang. And he is, I don't know if he has any relation to Sean Wang or not, but yeah, he's really incredible. And Joan Chin as the mom, she is like maybe my favorite performance of the movie. She was excellent. The sister is great. And the whole family, it just makes you feel like you are a part of their family and that you never really want to leave. And it even has like a mid-90s, if y'all like the A24 movie mid-90s, it even has a mid-90s feel a bit, because he starts to be friends with these like skater people, and they kind of teach him how life works from an older perspective. So it's really, really good. So I highly recommend that y'all rush out and see this as soon as it becomes wide, because it is probably the best, like crowd pleaser, I would say, I've seen this year. So yeah,
I'm probably gonna see that Thursday.
Nice. Yeah.
And it looks like
Yeah,
it's a
that-
way different style than Nene and Wipo, right? Like it's like looks like fast cut. The trailer does at least.
oh
Fast
yeah,
cut and zippy, and the Nene and Wipo was, it wasn't exactly sedate, but it was a little more fluid.
Yeah.
it has a lot more like fast paced editing and that kind of stuff. Think of it as like a mixture between mid 90s and 8th grade. That's like kind of what you that's kind of what
That's
you
a good,
get
good
what you
selling
get
point.
with
Yeah.
this. So yeah.
All right.
Well, cool. Sounds good. Well, JPO, what do you got at your number 5?
I have Civil War at 5.
Okay. Yeah.
I
Anybody
went at
else
number
gonna-
4.
Yeah, and I had it at 6. Who else had it on the list?
I had it at 8. So
Okay, and so everybody except Paul has it on their list. So, all right. We'll just kind of go in order. Go JPO, then me, Jordan, and then Wolf. So go ahead, JPO,
Yeah.
kick it off.
Okay. Yeah, sure. No, this is one I saw on home. I kind of wish I saw it in theaters here because no, I really liked it here. I don't think the director's made a bad film yet. I love the kind of perspective of going out for trying to get the photo here, the new girl kind of at play here. Some of the way that they kind of do it in between talks of the way it's shot and kind of going back to the photo itself. Just kind of a gripping tale. Good, really tense moments as well. Jesse Plemons in one scene, but owning every little second he's in it. I think Kirsten Dunst is giving a really good performance as well. She's kind of a different segue that we've seen her before. And just thought not too. But I like the fact that it wasn't also trying to go too left or right. It's just telling a real possible scary tale of what's what could be to come. Even simple lines of like they don't even know why they're shooting at each other at one point and whatnot, stuff like that. So really interesting, gripping movie.
Yeah. Sounds good. I guess Austin, you had it on.
Yeah, no, I had a number 6. Again, a great little kind of a movie I was looking forward to that lived up to the hype. Yeah, again, A24, probably their biggest movie, so to speak. I got to see it in a really huge theater with great sound. Sound design on this movie is incredible. Some of the best I've heard all year. Every bullet, every sound, it's right there. The movie looks great. It gives you just enough information without like giving you too much. It makes you pay attention to catch all the little bits of everything. About what's going on in the situations. And again, JPO and I have talked about this. Yeah, giving that third person perspective of like, it's just journalists documenting everything. So we're just going to see these different people in their situations. It's not really going to take a side, as far as, who's with who and whatnot. But yeah, genuinely terrifying scenes. The one at the gas station as well as the Jesse Plemons one, both really like goosebump inducing, terrifying stuff. And really the finale of the movie, and again, I won't spoil what happens, but this finale like siege on DC is maybe the best pure action scene, just as far as in a grand scope I've seen all year. Like just incredibly big scope action, and it's really, really well done. So very tense. So I really love Civil War. Jordan?
I thought Civil War, like it just really was like one of the biggest kind of thinkers, and like when it was done, I just wanted to just sit there and just take it all in, because like when the end credits hit too, you get that music that just plays. It just kind of is like not what I expected, but kind of what I needed though, and that's kind of just like, wow, this kind of almost like hits really well. They're playing more of like an upbeat kind of like poppy song or whatever, and I really appreciate the movie. It doesn't really take sides either. Like it just like kind of stays out of politics for the most part. I mean, Ross in the comments says maybe if you pay attention.
I disagree.
Some
I don't
hints,
think
but
I don't think it's a side. No.
Yeah, I don't really think so either. But there's some gorgeous cinematography. The way that they do the photo stuff, especially for fans. So I was telling Chris Scott, he's got a side business as doing photography. He's done a lot of photography for me and stuff over the years, and so I told him he'd really love it for that. And yeah, like it's one of the like best things I've seen Kristen Dunstan in a long time. A lot of haunting stuff, like you said, the Jesse Plemons stuff, and then just like when they finally reach the White House, all the stuff that just goes down, and it just it just really, really crazy. I know that there's a lot where they go across Virginia. I know, Wolf, you're you're from Virginia, so there's probably a lot of stuff close to home for you and all that. So yeah, just really, really good, really powerful. And I love a movie that just really hits me and just makes me just want to sit there and like think about it and take it all in afterwards. And so for a long time, this was my number 1. And actually, this movie is kind of interchangeable with my number 3. They kind of flip flop, but I just like put it there. I had to make a decision. So yeah. That's it.
Wolf, you had an 8?
Yeah, if you want to talk about being meta, a lot of the film is about them trying to travel to Charlottesville. And I watched this in Charlottesville, Virginia. Which was like, whoa, okay, that's like adding to the experience. And it was my first ever Dolby Atmos experience. I've never seen a Dolby Atmos movie, and I was like, and it was because of Austin actually raving about the sound. I was like, you know what? Because of that, I know Dolby Atmos is like super sound heavy and all that stuff, so I want to try to see it in that format. And I am glad I did, because whoa, that blew my socks off. It was incredible, and I just think that this movie did a really good job at just throwing you into war, just giving you perspective of war from these photographers. It's not and it makes it a little more scary, especially in today's climate and recent news of like, it is America, but you never know why they're fighting. It could just be that like the president ended up eating like, I don't know, a special cake that everyone else wanted, and that's why they're going to war with one another. They never explain it, so who knows? That could be the reason why they're at war. So that must have been some really good cake. So yeah, it was. I thought it was really, really good. And for us Last of Us fans, there's a scene in there that is straight up out of The Last of Us. I was kind of geeking out. I was like, oh no, that's so cool. I loved it. And also, speaking of, Kaylee Spaney should have been Ellie in the TV show. Just saying. Like, after watching this, I was like, she should have been. But she was incredible. Cannot wait to see where her career goes with Alien Romulus and other stuff like that. So yeah, so Civil War, definitely a great movie. And I know Alex Garland said he might retire after this one, because he says he's kind of fallen out of love with filmmaking in a way. He says he said this may be his last one, but if it is his last one, he at least went out with a banger. So
well, he had a great career. I mean, Ex Machina and like Annihilation and all that. I think 28 years later, did he direct that?
He did say that he might still write stuff, but he doesn't think he's ever going to direct a movie again. So
yeah, but I forgot to shout out the sound design. It's like perfect, where like they like throw those grenades and then you hear like a like pop, and then it's just silence like that. You hear the little ringing and all that. It's just it's so good.
All right, Paul, you're number 5.
Yeah,
my number 5 is a movie called Tuesday.
Oh, I saw it.
Yeah, and we're looking at a ticking clock here, so I'll keep it brief. I'll just say it's about a mother and a daughter must confront death when it arrives in the form of an astonishing talking bird. This is the most unique and unpredictable film about grief that you may ever see. Julia Louis-Dreyfus has the chops to play anything, and it's great to see them be stretched by this story that she's the lead in. The young actress, I can't remember her name, but her daughter, basically Julia Louis-Dreyfus's daughter, is terminally ill, and so the bird plays death and has come for her, and then this whole movie plays out. That is just, go see it.
Lola Pettigrew is her name, by the way. She's very good.
Yeah, she's very good.
I will just say, Tuesday has more WTF moments per minute once it gets going than I think any other movie I saw this year. So if that tells you, I did not know where the hell it was going from minute to minute once it gets going. So
which actually worked in his favor, I think. That was actually good. It was like,
I thought it was going to be some standard drama, and it goes to some wacky places. I'll tell you that. So.
Yeah, I mean, again, I saw it at Telluride. It's the only time I'll ever make it up there, but so I saw as much as I could. And I mean, to have no word about what it was ahead of time, I was like, what is even happening here? I feel ashamed talking about there's a talking bird, but you still will go, what is happening here? So
what is happening? Yes.
But in the end, if you're not emotionally involved, I mean, then I'd be shocked, because I certainly was.
Yeah.
It's a lot to do with Dreyfus's performance. She's great.
All right.
That's what I did when I saw Long Legs. I didn't see a single trailer or just see anything, and then I just went in blind, and I was like, what the F is
Well,
happening
the
here?
trailers were very thin too, and wisely
Yeah,
so.
right. Yeah, 'cause I did watch one of them afterwards, so just to like see how what it would be like to do that.
That's
but-
Yeah, if I'm
marketing
sold,
campaign
I'm
of the
sold.
year
Jim
for
Carrey is
sure.
God. I'll go. I don't need a trailer.
Yeah, right. But Austin, what's your
Well,
number
speaking of
5?
weird, wacky stuff with WTO moments sprinkled throughout it, my number 5 is Kinds of Kindness from Yorgos Lanthimos.
Yes, we
Little
can
blind
talk about it now.
Yeah,
Okay.
so me and Will can talk about it because he had it in his list ahead of him. Yeah, here's the quick 15-second pitch for this movie because I didn't know much about it. The 15-second pitch is, if Yorgos Lanthimos directed a Black Mirror anthology movie, there's your pitch.
Mhm.
Black Mirror, like Twilight Zone.
There you go.
And it's awesome.
Especially
now-
the second story feels very.
Yeah, the second
Black
story,
Mirror.
especially, again, I won't spoil like where the stories go or anything like
Yeah.
that. I'll speak very vaguely because I want people to see it. It is a very long movie. It's like 2 hours and 40 minutes, but again, it's an anthology, so there's 3 distinct stories. They're like 45 or 50 minutes apiece, something like that. He used the same like 6 actors, like the same group of actors for everything. They play different characters in each story. Like there's literally a credit sequence after each one. Saying who everybody played and move on to the next thing. So you have to get used to that. It takes you about 10 or 15 minutes to kind of figure out what's going on in each short, so it keeps you kind of hanging so you kind of figure out what's going on. But yeah, it is my kind of weird. It is out there. Things get really crazy and wacky. Each short kind of focuses on a different set of actors, so to speak. So the first one is very heavy on Willem Dafoe and Jesse Plemons. The second one is very heavy on Jesse Plemons and Emma Stone, and the third one is very heavy on Margaret Qualley and Emma Stone. So like it's kind of, and with everybody else kind of playing supporting roles in each one, but it's the same group of people. But yeah, I don't want to spoil much. I know it's going to be a divisive film, so people are not going to vibe with it. They're not going to be into the weirdness. I totally bought into it. I love anthology stuff. So this was like right up my alley. And yeah, it gets weird and wild and crazy. And I didn't know where it was going minute to minute. And I loved it. So I saw it. It immediately jumped in my thing, and it's become one of my favorites of the year. So no, it's awesome. I dug it, but not everybody will. But I loved it.
Yeah,
So,
well, you and I both, buddy. We both loved it because
right.
it was in my top 10, and yeah, this is Yorgos going back to like Killing of a Sacred Deer, Dogtooth, those kind of stuff of his earlier work. It's less like The Favorite and Poor Things. So there's different sides of Yorgos. It's like whichever side you like the best is probably where you're going to lean towards this. I thought all the stories were so unique, so original, and each one did have a lot to say. I'm not going to spoil much at all either, because I know a lot of people haven't seen this, and it's a movie that is good to go in blind to. Like the trailers pretty much gave away nothing.
No, I only saw the original teaser that just basically showed
yeah.
who was in the movie, and that was it. It didn't tell me anything, and I didn't watch anything else from there. I just went into it blind, and it was great.
Yeah, so it's good to go in blind, but all I'll say is like the themes about like human connection, what you would do for people, longing for someone. Like there's really some powerful themes in there that really stuck with me, and like themes about kindness, like different kinds of kindness. That's kind of what it is about. So it is really, really well done, really dark, really bleak, but it is so well made and so well crafted. And yeah, Emma Stone, this is in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler. 2 movies back to back where she gives us a dance scene. That's what we get. She's just like going to be known as, this is the Emma Stone dancing genre that we are living in right now. And Margaret Qualley is like straight up becoming a celebrity crush of mine. Like she is awesome, and she's awesome in this. And yeah, so just definitely, guys, go and see it. I had to travel like an hour 15 minutes to see this because it was playing at the theater that was like that far, because Lynchburg, Virginia sucks. Charlottesville's cool, but Lynchburg sucks, and I have to go to Charlottesville for all these type of movies. So I saw it at that theater at the Violet Crown. It was a great experience. So yeah, definitely go see it.
It should drop on VOD pretty soon. I know it's not on VOD yet, but it should drop pretty soon on VOD. So check it out. Yeah. All right.
but yeah, I had a chance to see it when I was in Boise for 2 weeks. I just was like really busy the whole time I was there, so I just didn't have time. But so yeah, I'll catch it on VOD though. But yeah, I guess for my number 5. So surprisingly, I have Beverly Hills Cop Axel F at my number 5. So
Okay. All
I don't know
right.
if anyone else
So
had it on their list.
JPO had it on his list, so you guys can both talk about that. So
Yeah.
you first, Jordan, and then we'll go to the other Jordan. So go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, like uh, guys, Eddie Murphy's back, and like he's freaking great in this movie. So good. Like it just like made me so happy because the last couple of things, Coming to America, didn't do it for me, but in this, he was funny, he was charismatic, like he was teaming up with Judge Reinhold again. I mean, he had Judge John Ashton back as the chief. You had Bronson Pinchot like doing the Aqua Foley and all that stuff, and like just a lot of like nostalgia. But then also, I thought that it was a fun story, and I thought that the Joseph Gordon-Levitt stuff worked really well. I liked them as a team, and it was just fun action, just kind of one of those kind of just turn your brain off and just be entertained for 2 hours. And it was a lot of fun, and I wouldn't mind if they made another one if they did it soon. But I mean, yeah, I just had a great time, like just from beginning to end. Like I was just sold. I mean, and it's hard to say. Well, like it's kind of like, I don't want to say sad to say a lot of it isn't nostalgia, but it is kind of because I grew up with all the other Beverly Hills Cop movies, and I love all of them, including number 3. I'll defend the third one when he's like going around on roller coasters in a theme park or whatever. But yeah, like I just had a blast. I found myself laughing pretty hard. Just him going there screaming and like pretending to be different characters, and some people to clear out of the building or like whatever he's doing. And yeah, like it's just a fun time. So I mean, like it's just the definition of like fun. It's like one of the most fun that I had watching a movie this year. So yeah. But
JPO, what you think of Beverly Hills Cop?
Yeah, no, this is again this was the year of fun. I feel for a lot of films there. I just think Fall Guy, Roadhouse, this all just checks the boxes of good action scenes. In this case, a good mix of nostalgia. Luckily, knock on wood, everybody was able to come back. You got your Reiser, you got your Ashton, you got your Judge Reinhold. Like everybody was able to come back. You even got what's his face, Bronson Pinchot, who was able to pop it. So so that worked out. Eddie Murphy is very much feels like he's in it. I won't necessarily say he's back because I feel like we say that every couple of years. Dream Cruise, he's back. Oh shit, what's that?
Yeah.
I
know.
Dolomite, back.
1,000 words or whatever. I feel like he's still
he's back for a minute.
Yeah, he has it in him. We've been every once in a while we see it. The script works and the comedy works and the action works here too. Like there's some really fun stuff with him, JGL and the plane to some of the car stuff and everything. So this was, like I said, this was one where like, all right, we've been burnt already to a degree with Coming to America, which I'm actually not as harsh on as some people are. But yeah, it wasn't really great. But this one I felt did actually check off the boxes that we really wanted.
All right.
And one of the things I'll also say is that like I didn't mind like necessarily that they called it Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. I mean, you could drop the Beverly Hills Cop part, but the Axel F, like that's the theme song of the series. And in this movie, they have like 5 different versions of that Axel F theme. They got like Lil Nas X doing something. They got like a slow version. They got a fast version. They got like a synthesizer. They got all the different versions you can handle in there. So like I do appreciate that. So it's a great thing.
So Paul has let us know in the chat he's got to scoot along. He's got company coming over. So yeah, no, I totally understand. Yeah, no, please, if you want to run down the rest of your list, get it on, and I'll put it in the ticker and get your list and get your plugs out there, buddy. Go ahead and hit it.
Oh, yeah. All right. I was going to send it to you, but I'll gladly tell you what it is.
No, just tell me. I'll type it in
my number 4 is Knox Goes Away, an outstanding noir thriller directed
I almost saw that.
by starring
Michael Keaton.
National treasure.
It's on Max now.
Oh yeah, it's Michael Keaton.
Okay,
I highly recommend it. Yes, go watch it.
Cool.
It's a unique take on a crime drama that I haven't seen before. A hitman who has dementia, so he's having to deal with his connection to reality, and bad things happen because of it. But also has a fantastic ending. Yeah, and Keaton directing. I mean, he did a great job. I think he's directed one other film. I can't remember which one it was, but yeah, this is really good. And he's 70, and he's proving he can play anything now.
Yeah, he's back as Beetlejuice. He's doing a lot.
He's doing yeah. The juice is loose. That's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of plot twists, and a couple of areas of character development that I thought were really fantastic. Great film. My number 3 was Inside Out 2. I won't say much about it because you guys will get to it, but I thought for returning to that, if it ain't broke, don't fix it vibe of Pixar's. They leaned on what made the first one great. A bunch of emotions live in Riley's head, but now we get new ones. Fear, disgust, anger, sadness, and joy are joined now by anxiety, envy, ennui, embarrassment, and an hilarious turn, nostalgia. And it's amazing what happens when you don't say your movie's going to be on Disney Plus in
June Squid.
3 weeks.
You make $1 billion. Wow.
$2 billion.
Yeah.
And I sat there watching the movie going, is this movie going to get me? I don't know if I'm really in that. By the end, it got me. It got me. They got me.
Yeah.
Pixar got me again. So you guys will talk all about that.
Sure.
Number 2 for me is Steve Martin, a documentary in 2 parts by Morgan Neville. If you're a fan of Steve
I heard that's good.
Forever, and read his autobiography, which is somewhere here on the shelf.
Yeah.
Or in the garage. He has been notoriously not a very forthcoming guy for documentaries and that kind of things. I mean, he obviously makes hilarious talk show appearances, podcast appearances, and talks, but you really get to know the guy. And so this 2 parts covering his stand-up career and then his film career are absolutely fantastic. And it's the film career segment that's funnier. Just him hanging out with Martin Short is some of the funniest stuff you're going to see on TV. And so it is remarkable to think that he's still relevant with this Only Murders in the Building. He's pushing 78, I think. So yeah, great film by a great filmmaker. We mentioned What Should Be My Neighbor. Morgan Neville made that. Of course, won the Oscar for 20 Feet from Stardom. And number 1, no doubt you're going to talk about is Deadpool and Wolverine. So
yeah, we will talk about that.
That.
Sorry,
I got to scoot, but actually there's somebody here now that my girlfriend is entertaining, so I got to go jump in on that.
All right. Any very quick before you go? And you
sure. Head to themovieguys.net for all the nonsense we're up to. We've taken a little hiatus on the Ford Fiesta, which is the podcast Adam Witt and I do, looking at every single Harrison Ford movie. But we're going to come back strong with episodes of Working Girl. We're going in order of their release. So we're going to come back with Working Girl, Presumed Innocent and Regarding Henry. And Working Girl, Last Crusade. And we have some good guests in there too. Working Girl, we had William Bibiani. For Last Crusade, we have Mara Kanopik. So if you followed a lot of online movie yapping like we're doing tonight, those guys are good at it. So we brought them in. And check out themovieguys.net or LA Film Locations Tour for my movie locations tour. I haven't given a bad one yet. You come out to LA and I'll show you where all the movies have been filmed. And you pick where you want to go. So it's only a greatest hits of the movies you love. No set itinerary where you're forced to see on a bus with a bunch of people things you don't care about. So it's a private tour, customized to you, and so far it's been a massive hit in terms of people's reactions. I've had everything from people thinking it's giddy to just crying. That girl from England who may never make it to America again, put her in front of Elliot's house from E.T. She's got the E.T. shirt. She's loved it for 40 years. It was
That'd be awesome.
Fantastic moment. Kind of thrill I can bring to people. So that's out there too. And if you ever need a party, if you ever need a 20-foot Ecto 1 at your party, I'm also the guy to look up. It's all at the movie guys. So.
How far are you willing to drive it for that party? I guess
maybe 40 miles. It's a 93 Cadillac hearse, so it's.
Right.
I want to make sure I can take it somewhere I can get it. Yeah, someone said, "Can you come to the Bay Area?" I'm not even going to Temecula. I don't think because it may not come back. Yeah, but check all that stuff out. Movies because movies.
No, thank you, Paul. Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Paul.
Really
appreciate it.
I wish I could talk more about that because I just saw it last night too, and I'm going to need more time to digest it. But in terms of massive joke content per hour, it might be unmatchable.
No, it will be on some of our lists. We will.
I want to talk spoilers. Good Lord.
Oh yeah.
But, all right.
Same.
Have fun, guys.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thanks. Yeah, we'll see you.
All right. Okay. All right. And then there were 4, so we'll keep it moving.
And I was gonna see if anyone. I haven't been keeping up on the chat, but some people had their number 5s on there. Malcolm had Inside Out too, and so did Brian. Okay, so they both had it.
All right.
So-
So I believe we're on Wolfman. We got number 4.
So speaking of, I wanted to request something just because earlier Jordan punted Inside Out 2 and he wasn't able to talk about it. And since Preston did just mention,
Yeah,
Inside
that's
Out
what I was
2,
going to ask too.
we can have Jordan go again, and just so he can talk about Inside Out 2, and then we can go to me. Just that way he can have that chance.
Oh,
Yeah.
did anybody else have it besides?
It was Jordan.
Just
Yeah.
Jordan?
Yeah.
No, JPO,
Yeah,
you
I
also
think-
had Inside Out too.
And
Yes.
Andrew. Yeah.
Okay, so
Both
yeah,
of
you guys,
them. Both of
yeah,
them.
yeah. Unless it's any higher, I don't have any higher. Neither does Wolfman, so I'm assuming so. But yeah, all right. Yeah, you, Jordan, if you want, and then JPO, they'll talk about Inside Out too.
Yeah, so this is another one where like Disney hasn't really done it for me for a long time, and even Pixar to an extent, like Turning Red, or I will defend Lightyear, but like even I agree it's not like a top tier or anything, but like there's just like a few of their like more recent ones that like haven't really hit. But so I was a little skeptical on this one, and that always seems to turn out to be a good thing for me, because when I go with low expectation, I'm always pleasantly surprised. And yeah, this movie knocked it out of the park for me. Like this movie for me is right on par with the first one. Like it's just like it's got all the feels, all the just like all the things inside Riley's head, and like adding in all those extra emotions from like puberty that Paul mentioned. You know, you got envy, you got anxiety, you got nostalgia, you got embarrassment, you got all that stuff, and yeah, that's a lot of fun. They do a lot of cool just like things when they're exploring more of like the like depths and the realms of like Riley's brain and this whole world, and there's some good jokes that are funny. I wish that like all the original cast were able to come back, but I guess Bill Hader and Mandy Kaling, that I think it was like a money issue is what I've heard, but it was still great, and yeah, I just had a fun time from beginning to end. So I wouldn't mind if they did a third one. I mean, just get it right into adulthood or something. I don't know. So yeah.
Yeah,
But-
JPO, what do you think about Inside Out too?
Yeah, this won't be the last time I said this. I kind of said this the most even for like the Omen, but this is a different kind of way of like I wasn't necessarily like super gung ho because I was like, all right, man, like their track record's been not horrible, but a little spotty, and I don't really know if this qualified as a necessary sequel. But just like I think Toy Story 3 and 4, let me just eat my words real quick, because this fucking worked, man. You know, I didn't mind. Yeah, I love Bill Hader. I didn't necessarily like totally notice too much once you're in it, like that you're kind of missing him. They introduce some new characters as well here. I love the dip too into like the mother's own emotions as well. They have some fun little segues, and even quickly with the dad at one point. And then man, that emotional core, man, that emotional last message just fucking nailed it, I thought. And like again, I just thought, man, this hits every level here. It's gorgeous, it's funny, it's meaningful. They found a great way. It made sense. Like after I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, this is fucking totally right for a sequel and a follow up to this girl now that she's a few years older. And yeah, so let's keep doing Inside Out 10 when she's like 50. Let's keep doing it.
Yeah.
When she hits that menopause and just, we introduce the new menopause emotion, hot flash emotion, things like that. So yeah, sure. Why not?
But I'll admit that I even got a little teary eyed in it. I mean, not like big time, but a little, so it hits all the feels.
All right. Oh, now we'll get to number 4. Wolf, what you got?
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of movies that are my type of weird, number 4 is I Saw the TV Glow.
Almost made my worst up list.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely not
Blind
your
spot.
type of weird. But yeah, no, this is a movie that when I first watched it, I even was like, what the fuck? But then the moment I sat on it and I was on the drive home, I was looking at like analysis on it. I was hearing other people. And the thing is what's so great. This is what's so great about film is I love, like I love some films that give you just a clear coded, okay, you can watch it from the beginning and end, you understand the whole thing and all that kind of stuff. But film is also supposed to be a conversation piece, something where you can talk about it. You can say what you thought about certain parts of it and all that stuff. And I Saw the TV Glow does that expertly in what The Lighthouse did, where The Lighthouse, you watch it and you don't really know what it's about. You can make up your own interpretations, you know? And it's like that kind of thing. Like every single interpretation of The Lighthouse I've heard is like different. And it's like the same way with I Saw the TV Glow. Like literally every single interpretation of it I've heard is different. There's a clear-coded, queer message that's in there, but overall it has a lot to say about like media, about nostalgia with media, how media can shape our lives. The main character in it is both the main characters in it are obsessed with this Pink Opaque show, and so they kind of start, you know, coming over and watching it a lot, and then they start you find out, I don't want to spoil it, but there's some things that happen that it's like Pink Opaque is actually part of their lives, and it's kind of interesting. So it is so it not only talks about media, but it also talks about just like the secrets that we hold inside of ourselves, just like not being able to convey our true selves. And so there's a lot that it really says here, and it impacted me on much more of an emotional level than I expected it to. The only issue I really have with it is the actor's name. I forget who's the main actor in it.
Joseph Smith. He's not a good actor. He does the same shit in every movie.
But
he's the same shit in American Society.
Yeah,
he's doing the same like, oh gee golly, I'm sorry thing in like every movie. I'm over it. He's doing the same shit in every movie. He has no range. I've seen no range from him whatsoever. The last like 4 movies he's done. He's doing the same shit. I thought he was.
Oh yeah, he was a dude from Detective Pikachu's.
But my one issue with it is that his younger version of himself, it was like 2 years earlier in the film or whatever, and then all of a sudden it shows Justin Smith, and I was like, you looked entirely different. There's no way
he's fucking 28 or whatever playing a 14-year-old. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. What are we doing?
So there's some stuff like that, but overall, when it comes to just how the film made really touched me personally, it had a very personal and profound effect on me, so that's why I have it before.
Yeah.
Well, homeboy's 29, and they want to say he's like 13 in that fucking movie. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck off. That movie's pretentious as shit. I hated it.
Well, they've been doing that for years with like coming of age movies. Yeah.
Anyways, I'm glad you liked it, Wolf. Great.
Yeah. But we'll go to JPO. What do you have for your number 4?
I got Thelma.
Okay, I'm seeing it tomorrow. Goddammit! Oh, I want to see it.
So
I need to see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I dug this, man. This was $10 on Amazon. I had the credits, so it was free. No, and I really dug this, man. You can tell this is a bit of a love letter here. There's even a little bit of like the guy with his real grandma at the very end was kind of cool. You can tell it's a kind of a passion piece here. June Squibb killing it, funny, doing her own stunts. Even though you can see what I mean by stunts. At her age here, and also too, I want to, everyone's talking about her, but I also want to give like some quick love to Richard Roundtree, which depressed me later after I watched it, finding out that he actually has passed away in real life. This will likely his last film. That's the OG Shaft, in case you're kind of wondering. He's also in Brick, and he's really good too, and their rapport is really cool too. She's the one that that's how she gets a scooter for a little bit of the movie here. She goes to take his, and they're kind of like old buddies, and like both of their spouses have passed and whatnot, and there's just that really kind of like cool kind of, they have some great kind of back and forth. So like, when is it time to kind of lay back, and when is it time to just never give up? And it's got such a fun spirit here. There's a really good end sequence with Malcolm McDowell. There's just some cool stuff here. It's a really, really unique kind of fun film here.
Yeah.
Well, it's the second June Squibb movie on the list because Inside Out 2, she was the nostalgia. Yeah.
I remember. Not yet. Okay, I'll be back.
Okay.
I also want to shout out, of course, Parker Posey, but I also want to shout out the one. What was the guy? Fred.
Oh, Fred.
Yeah.
Which
was in Love, Simon.
White Lotus.
Yeah.
White Lotus is where I just saw him.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I was like, I don't know you. Oh, you're Steve Zahns kid in White Lotus.
White Lotus,
he's really
nice.
good here, too. And he kind of, I would say, like right next to Richard Roundtree, he's kind of like the second, third billing. Like he's got a good story too, is what he's going through.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, we'll go to Austin. What do you got for your number 4?
My number 4 is Dune Part 2. Is it getting punted again?
Punt.
All right, we're still punting
okay.
Dune Part 2. All right, sounds
Still,
good.
okay.
Still punting it. Excellent. All right,
Yeah.
so Jordan.
And wait, we're on number 3 or 4?
Number 4. Number 4.
4. Okay. Oh, that's right. Because I already talked about Civil War because it was only one spot higher last time. That's why. So I already talked about it. So.
Oh, Civil War. So that one is your number 4. Okay.
Yeah, cool. I'm going to see if anyone else put their number 4. Brian said Bad Boys 4 was his number 4.
Hey,
and Ross throwing in some now for number 4, Deadpool and Wolverine. And Malcolm said Abigail is his number 4.
All right.
So,
well, we're right back to Wolf again. There you
go. Can I just say though, like, Bad Boys messed up. They should have called the third one Bad Boys Ride or Die.
Yeah,
this was Bad Boys for Life. Yeah.
I know.
All right.
Screwed it.
So my number 3 is Challengers. Is that?
We are still punting that.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, we'll go to JPO then. Your number 3.
All right. My number 3. Deadpool and Wolverine.
That is a punt.
Wow.
All right.
Shocker.
Okay.
So go to Austin.
Let me type it in here for a second. Hang on.
Yeah.
We moved mine so fast I wasn't ready to type
I
my
know.
number 3. My number 3 is a movie I've been wanting to see for a while that I finally got to see today. It finally dropped on VOD last week. That is the Hindi Indian movie Kill. Kill is my number 3.
Okay.
Yes. Kill is the best pure action movie I have seen this year, as far as just pure action, not like a comic book thing or like sci-fi with action, whatever. Just pure action, straight action movie. Holy shit, is this movie awesome? This movie rocks. And my best description of it is the raid on a train. So, if that intrigues you,
okay.
The raid on a train, if you're in, then there you go. It's from India, but it's not like a 3-hour Bollywood movie. It's an hour and 40 minutes. Like, it's a tight hour 40. We just do our thing. We get to the action pretty damn quick. Your basic setup, I won't spoil much, but it's the main guy is, and I forget the guy's name again, but he's really good. He's kind of an army commando, special forces type dude. He's got him and a partner getting on this train. He's got a lady that he wants to marry, but she's kind of in a forced, not kind of arranged engagement, but she doesn't really want to do it. But her dad is a big mogul, big businessman, big famous guy in India. They get on this train, and this dude and a bunch of his henchmen kind of take over the train because they want to kidnap her, her or the dad, and make some money. So they get stuck on the train, and dude's got to fight his way to the lady and fight through about 40 of these dudes. And let me tell you something. This movie really subverted a lot of my expectations. That it takes some dramatic twists and turns that I did not see coming, that you don't think would happen in a movie like this, and they do. As far as like things that keep you on your toes, and you go like, "Oh shit, that just happened! Oh shit, that just happened!" Like things it's very unpredictable in that way. Everybody takes a beating in this movie. Like the main dude's not invincible. He takes a beating. His partner takes a beating. This movie is brutal as shit. It is bloody. It is gory. It is it's a lot of it's close quarter combat in these little hallways and the bathrooms, in the entranceways, but they keep it inventive. So and you can tell everything that's going on. It's really well choreographed, but it keeps you on your toes again with those dramatic twists and turns. As far as you don't really know where it's going or who's going to end up where. So, damn, was this good? I've been looking forward to it. I've been hearing good vibes about it online. It finally dropped on VOD. It was the same price to rent it as to buy it, so I just bought it, and I'm glad I did. I will be watching this again. So, if you want to see, in my opinion, the best pure action movie of the year so far, at least Kill from India. It's now on VOD. So I didn't get a chance to see it in theaters. It was very, very limited, but it's out there now. So, Kill.
Did you buy it on your Vudu?
Yeah, I bought it on my Vudu, so you can watch it, Jordan. It's on my Vudu.
Nice, I'll check it out. Nice.
Yeah, it is. I bought it on there. So, nice. You can check that out. So there you go.
Cool. Sounds good, yeah. So I guess it's on me. It's my number 3, and I'll just say my number 3 is right up there. Furiosa.
Hey, we can talk about it now.
I think we can finally talk about it. I believe did we all have it on our list?
I'm
Yes.
sorry. I'm sorry. Hold on. Punt.
Punts.
Oh,
Shit.
punt.
All
Okay.
right, we are still punting Furiosa.
All right.
All right, excellent. Okay, that's fine. All right, so all right, no, scratch that. We are back to Wolfman.
So
Yeah.
considering the films we have left,
hang on. Jordan wanted to talk about the chat. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna just say that Malcolm had Deadpool and Wolverine at his number 3. Brian had If, and Ross had Dune.
Boo. Anyways.
hey, If is a cute family movie.
Boo. Anyways,
I skipped it.
Wolf.
Considering the films that are left, my next 2 did not make any years, so I'll get to talk about these. My next one I'm mentioning at number 2 was my number 1 most anticipated movie of the year when I saw the trailer in front of Night Swim, and that is Longlegs.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I was so excited for this. I only watched so when I went to go see Night Swim, opening Thursday night, I was expecting a shitty January movie, which I got. But the good surprise was, without telling anybody, they just premiered this trailer for a movie called Longlegs, and I was playing it, and it was a teaser. I was like, wait, what? What is this? What? And I was like, so into it and was blown away by it. And I watched some of the other teasers that they did, but I stayed away from the main trailer, and I stayed away from marketing after a certain point. But there were some things of marketing I did do. Like, for example, this is maybe the best marketing I will ever see in my lifetime. Literally, they made a fake phone number you could call, and you could talk to Longlegs himself, Nicolas Cage himself. And I did it, and he makes all the creepy noises for you and all that stuff, and it was really cool. They made their own fake website called birthdaymurders.net. And you can go to it, and it explains all about the birthday murders and a news story, and talking about the Longlegs killer himself and all that stuff. And it's really, really cool. Just the effort that they put into this. And then they released that one video talking about Micah Monroe's heartbeats per minute and everything like that she was doing whenever she saw Nicolas Cage's Longlegs for the first time. They do some things I've never seen, and I might never see again. This is really, really cool. So I, of course, was excited. The hype came out saying this is the scariest film ever made, and one of the scariest films ever made, and one of the scary, all that stuff. And I watched it, and it is pretty darn creepy. I gotta say that. It gets under your skin, and you can't really stop thinking about it. I have not stopped thinking about it since I saw it. I've seen it twice now, in a packed theater both times. By the way, I was happy that the theaters were packed for that movie. Shows you that marketing matters, people. But yeah, Nicolas Cage, he's
It was packed too, yeah.
He's batshit insane in this. Nicolas Cage is on another level, but it works in this. Because he's a psychopath, so it works for this. But he is creepy and unsettling. Micah Monroe is very subtle, but she's great, and I definitely see the Silence of the Lambs comparisons here, because it is her chasing after a killer, and he's doing all this weird, creepy stuff, but it's more supernatural. And I'm not going to spoil it because I know some people are trying to go in blind, obviously, and if y'all haven't seen it yet, but there's some.
I'm gonna do the Paul real quick.
there's some jump scare. There's some jump scares that really got me, and this. Yeah, it was a wild ride from when it started all the way to just how it ended, and it was. It truly lived up to the hype for me, and is probably my favorite horror movie of the year, and will probably be high up in my favorite horror movies come the end of the year. So,
was anyone's birthday on the 14th? That's part of it.
Yeah. It is. Now when you call the number, they changed it, because he used to be. He used to say "Oh, little angel," say that whole thing and all that stuff, and be all creepy. But now when you call the number, he just sings "Happy Birthday" to you in a very creepy Nicolas Cage way.
Oh, okay.
Happy birthday to you, or something like that. He does that, or it's really funny. So it's something that is
Yeah. Yeah, the movie just missed my honorable mentions, but it is good. If I would have included a couple more, so yeah. But yeah, we'll go to JPO if you can. I don't know if you
We're in the two, so we're pretty much beyond any kind of punting now. So we'll just talk
Yeah.
about whatever
No,
comes up.
I have
Yeah.
movies in the +9s. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
right.
right. Dune. I got Dune Part 2 is what is my 2.
All right, so I think we can finally talk about
Yep.
it, right? All right.
Punt.
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
punt anymore.
Right,
It's
right,
impossible
yeah,
to punt
right.
anymore. So did we all have Dune Part 2 in there, or
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, we all did. So we'll just go around. All right,
I was my number 12, so I barely had it.
all right, but we all have it. So JPO, kick us off. We'll just go around the horn.
Yeah, I was so excited. That first one, man, it hooked me. Again, coming into it kind of blind, other than just knowing, hey, Denis Villeneuve is a pretty dope director here. But I love the world that he has helped create here. Obviously, I love the source material here. Didn't love the original. I actually saw that in the last 6 months to a year. But I love what Neely has done here. It's a great chapter 2 here. Again, the way he does action, I think, really works here. It's not super sped up. It's nice. It's tight usually here when you get to there. Austin Butler is really good, and his whatever the hell he's doing, the way he looks is interesting. Yeah, again, just a great cast as a play here. It's intriguing. It's involving, and again, sets you up for 3, but not in a Stranger Chapter 1 way. A very smart, it feels like a good, solid Chapter 2, building you for more to come. And hey, you got Christopher Walken, you got Paige, aka Florence Pugh. What more could you want?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Austin.
it's high up. It's number 4 on my list. Yeah, I mean, even that first one, I like the first one. I realized very much it's like a setup movie, just getting all the characters in place, setting up the world and whatnot. I didn't know if I was going to be super into it. I don't love the David Lynch version. I think that movie's pretty boring. So the lore, I was like, but this is a great payoff movie, paying off a lot of the stuff from that first part, and again, really exploring this world. I think Javier Bardem kind of steals the movie. He's awesome in that movie. Just propelling this Messiah thing, and yeah, Timothy Chalamet continues to impress the hell out of me. I think his sequence where he makes his big speech, so to speak, in front of the big council is one of my favorite scenes of the year. Just individual scenes of the year. He's great, and I totally bought into it. But yeah, excellent action, amazing cinematography, score. I mean, you name it. This movie's gonna definitely sweep up some technical stuff. Come Oscar season. I don't have a whole lot more to add other than Dune 2 rules. It's great. So yeah, Jordan.
Yeah. So I'll just say that I was on the fence. Why have it a little lower than some of you guys? I didn't love the first one. So the first one was just a lot of them just running around the desert trying to survive, and I don't know. Just
I don't see how that affects part 2 though. It seems like your criticism.
Well, I mean, because it just kind of plays into that, and I'm hoping for it to be something different, and it is different enough, and I think something that is really, really good, especially Austin Butler. He's probably my favorite part of it. He's really, really good. And some of those sequences where they're running up and they're attacking people when all the ships are coming in, and they're kind of stealthily, but really cool though, the way the choreography is. They're going cutting those guys' legs and attacking them like that. It's really, really cool. The way you get to see inside the one city with Austin Butler and Stellan Skarsgård and those guys in there. I think that's really cool. And then the sound. So I mentioned this to some people before, but I'll just say it again real quick. Is that I went out to use the bathroom during the movie and I had to go clear across the other side of the theater because I've seen it in Dolby Atmos. And this movie wasn't just shaking that theater itself; it was shaking the whole building. This thing was just booming loud and in the best way. The sound was just awesome, and it some of the best sound design. Yeah, so I hope that it wins the Oscars for that. But yeah, just a great cast here, and some of the additions you guys mentioned are just really, really good, really fun. And yeah, I'm excited to see where they go with the third one. And also, one other thing that kind of has me a little lower. I don't love Zendaya. I'm not really sold on her as an actor. She just looks like she's depressed and sad in everything she's ever done. Even real life, I just don't. I don't know. Just something about it. I don't dislike her as an actress. I think that that's it. She's good, but it just I just don't really feel a lot of range from her. So
You
She
do
had
you
plenty
do
of
have
range and challenges.
you do have challengers in your top, but
Yeah.
she's very good in challengers. She's
Yeah.
excellent.
Challengers is kind of better for her, but I still feel that kind of like sad, depressed thing going on. So I don't know, but yeah. But Wolf, what do you say?
Yeah, I loved Dune Part 2. I got to see it like a week early because IMAX did those like like special screening that they did, and I got to see it in IMAX in a fully sold out theater. It was really cool. We all were like huge Denis Villeneuve fans, and I remember as soon as the movie ended, I literally had to like exhale because it like took my breath away. Like I was just in awe of what I saw, like just from the sound of it in IMAX to the visual effects that they pulled off in this. I was just blown away. And this is truly filmmaking of epic proportions. You know, like y'all's parents had the original Star Wars trilogy. We had the Lord of the Rings trilogy. And now our new generation will say that they have.
But you were like 5 when that movie came out, right? Like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. But still, that's still my generation. Okay, I still watch it. So
you grew up with Lord of the Rings, watching it in your kindergarten class.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
While I was graduating from high school.
But now, like all the Gen Z or all the young or Gen Ys or whatever it is now, I forget the thing it is. But all of them are gonna have Dune Part 2 as like the films that they grow up with, and Dune Part 2 and Dune Messiah when that comes out is like their trilogy. So, I absolutely love this. Everyone was excellent. Florence Pugh, Christopher Walken, just being Christopher Walken, you know, that was great.
Ow.
And
So much sand. God.
Yeah.
God, fine. Take your daughter, whatever.
You could be the king of something. Just move it on.
Oh my God.
But yeah, and also Austin Butler was like, he was the standout for me. He was because the reason why he was a standout for me is in the Bike Riders, what did he do? An Elvis voice. In this, he wasn't Elvis, so he like actually broke that stereotype that he's had. My one issue with the film is I was getting so excited to see the character of Gurney and Beast fight. Like I was so excited for that, and then it was just like a one punch and he's down. I was like, really? That's all? Okay, that's fine. I got over that. It was like small little nitpick. Other than that, this is like masterful in every sense of the word, and just it's epic. So
all right, let's move on.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'm all goofed up. Is it you, Austin, next?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I just said JPO's up. My number 2. Well, we got to talk about it now because we can't punt it anymore. My number 2 is Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh, okay.
So, all right.
I guess we're deciding not to do spoilers really hard.
No, let's not do spoilers because people. It's still just. It's just fast opening weekend. You want to do a spoiler review? Do a spoiler review. We're not doing spoilers.
Yeah.
We're just not.
Okay.
We're not.
Yeah, maybe that's every video.
Yeah. All right. So who all has it on their list? JPO.
Of course.
it's like number 13 on my list, but so maybe I can still briefly talk about it.
No, it's not on your list. Sorry, you don't get it. Nope, not on your list. Sorry. Nope. It's got to be on your list. Yeah, I mean, probably the most pure fun I've had all year. I've seen it twice already. I will probably go see it a third time at some point. Is the story a little weak? Whatever. Yeah, I don't give a shit because it's not about that. I don't care. It's about Deadpool and Wolverine, and goddamn, does it deliver on a Deadpool movie and Wolverine movie. Wolverine is not a side character. He is fully kind of a co-star in this one. Their chemistry is impeccable. As Paul kind of alluded to, it's like a joke per minute, but most of them very much hit. And again, I'm not spoiling anything. everything, but the cameos are not even really cameos. The people that show up have things to do, and they have supporting roles, and they impact the story and impact the mission and whatnot. And I was very happy about that. It's a great sort of love letter to 20th Century Fox. I'll just leave it at that. And yeah, I appreciate that as somebody who loves those 2000s movies and kind of misses that era, and really love that X-Men universe, that sort of thing. I really dug it. So yeah, it was kind of everything I wanted it to be, just pure raw entertainment for like 2 hours. I was super entertained. Amazing moments all around. So yeah, I've seen it twice, and I'll go see it a third time.
Yeah. Well, you know me, I'm like the Logan guy around here, and like this like hit it out of the park for me. And so yeah, okay, got to keep it spoiler free. But yeah, I'm probably gonna go see it either tomorrow or Wednesday another time, because I drove about an hour to go see it with this girl, and long story short, that girl ended up being a nightmare, so I didn't end up seeing it with her. And I saw it on my own in a lesser theater, so now I can go see it in Dolby Atmos right down the road from me. So I have that to look forward to. But yeah, like it's just like so great seeing Deadpool and Wolverine team up. They're two of my all-time favorite characters. I mean, my big three are Deadpool, Wolverine, and Spider-Man. So anything with those, like I'm there. I'm all over it. And yeah, there's just so many cameos. There's at least 3 or 4 different like moments in this movie where like I like scooted to the edge of my seat. My jaw is just like I can't even like shut my mouth, and I'm like wanted to stand up and like freak out, and then like trying to be weird in front of the whole theater or whatever. But like I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is like so like just things I wanted to see happen for so long, and it happened in like the best way possible. I'm just like, oh my gosh, there's like so many moments that are just like, and like yeah, like I'm kind of with you, Austin, when you say that the story might be a little weak, but it doesn't matter, because all the little things you get to see, all the action, it's like heavy R. They definitely keep that in the first R-rated thing in the MCU, and yeah, like I'm just really excited to see what we get going forward. And like, not to get off on like too much of a tangent, but I think like one reason why this movie is doing so well is like this is like the only Marvel thing we're getting this year, and like one of the only comic book things really. And it's like if you spread them out a little bit more, then people will come out to see them in droves. I promise you that, because like when you have too many, that's when people get like fatigued, and they don't want to keep coming to see all these superhero movies. Just spread them out a little bit, and I think it'll work better for you. But I like to see maybe 1 or 2 a year. That's about right for me. So.
JPO, yeah, number 3.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've been excited about it for a hot minute here.
Yeah, got the poster.
You say
I want that poster.
That's always been five and below. I don't know if it's on stock, but I would.
Oh, nice.
$6 though. Those ones bitches. But I've always been a Logan guy too. Growing up, I remember literally being like, "Who's this Hugh Jackman guy? He better not fuck up my Wolverine." And then he just absolutely nailed it out of the park. Anyone that's gonna have to fill these shoes down the line, I'm sure in our lifetime we're gonna see another Wolverine or two. Good luck, because like Hugh Jackman is Wolverine. You know what I mean? So getting him out of retirement, and hey, Logan was fucking A tier, S tier rather. So it was a great send off. They find a way to, I think, smartly bring him back. They even joke about it in the opening sequence here. And it works. It's super funny. It's a good time. I could see it definitely being revisited. I have to give it more of a break on my own personal level, but it's definitely one I think I will revisit down the line. And joke levels are there. It's fun. It's kind of, I mean, maybe I could ask for a little bit more, but that's greedy. But I definitely liked what I saw to a large degree.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And it's a good example of doing the multiverse right too. I think they did a really good job versus other movies I think that have not done it very well, and they did it really well. So,
all right,
yeah,
Jordan.
But all right, so my number 2. I don't know if anyone. Well, I mean, at this point, no one's gonna have this on their list, but it's a movie that's probably the biggest surprise of the year for me. And my number 2 is Boy Kills World. So that movie, like, the whole time I was watching that, there's another one where my jaw was just open. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is effing incredible. Like, what they're able to do, like Bill Skarsgård, it's just so good, and it's kind of like its own like original comic book kind of property in a way, because there's a lot of things that relate directly to comic book. They even have original comic book art throughout, and like in different parts of it, and it's bloody and it's violent, but he's not able to speak, so they have the voice of the guy from like Archer, like John H. Benjamin, and from Bob Burger, like one of the most perfect kind of like inner dialogue voices. And then you see how he's trained to like know martial arts and to be like a really awesome fighter. And they're in like, I think like Thailand or like somewhere in that general like region, Laos, Thailand, that kind of area. And yeah, like he just goes crazy on these people that like he thinks just screwed up his life and like ruined it, and it's just like really, really cool. Like it's really cool revenge kind of movie, but with a twist. And there's some twists that I'm not going to spoil for anyone, but they're really, really cool. They're really awesome, like pretty shocking for me. And yeah, like I just like we're just having a blast from beginning to end. Like for me, this is like the most pure kind of like action movie, but I mean, like it did have a comic book vibey thing to it, but at the end of the day, like it's original though. It's not based on any property or anything like that, and I really appreciated that. And it's just like brutal and violent and just so much fun. So I would highly recommend, if you haven't seen Boy Kills World, go check it out.
I know
because
Richie's really high on this one too. Richie loves this one.
I really liked it. I wouldn't put it in like a top list or even it's like a 7.5 out of 10 for me.
Fun.
Yeah, it's got some wonky tonal issues here and there that I didn't love, but like, and sometimes I thought the narration was a little too much. Like it goes really hard on it, but like the action was good, and I like the world they set up, so I was cool with it.
Well, narration too, really like it. That has really awesome humor to it. So like if you like Archer and you like that stuff, it's got a lot of that kind of humor. So.
All right. Well,
so, yeah.
We are down to it. So number one, Wolf.
My number one of the year so far, the best movie I've seen so far this year. I ain't shitting on any more mystery movies because they delivered the best movie of the year, the last mystery movie I went to go see, and that is Sing Sing. It's out in limited release right now in like New York and LA, and it is expanding.
Number 2.
It is expanding on August 2nd. And what it's pretty much about is Coleman Domingo and Paul Raci, who are the only actors in the film, by the way. Everyone else is it plays themselves, but you'll have to see it to know why. But pretty much what this film is about is Coleman Domingo is in this program that for people in prison, like and at the Sing Sing Correctional Facility, where it gives them that chance at purpose and redemption through art and through performance and theater. And so Coleman Domingo is like the leader of this, and Paul Raci is kind of like helps him with it. And it's just a beautiful, touching, and real story about redemption through brotherhood, about how art can truly change our lives, how people closest to us can have an impact on us. And every single character in here feels so real to life. The dialogue feels real. Everything here is just exquisite. And yeah, there's something that it is technically like kind of based on it is based on true story in a way. It is a fictionalized story, but it's based on something that is real. Like this program does exist, and I'm not gonna say the things about the program. You can look up this stuff, but I didn't know about it. So when I watched the movie, I was like, well damn. And the program, just to let y'all No, it is RTA, rehabilitation through the arts. That's what the program is. You guys can look up stuff about it if you want, but I didn't know anything about the program until I saw the movie. And so when they showed the stuff in the credits at the end, I was like, whoa, what? Whoa. And it made me like do a whole research on them. And it's incredible what that program has done for incarcerated people. And yeah, this is one of the best prison movies I've seen. This is one of the best like dramas I have seen in quite some time. This is a profound, poetic, beautiful movie that had the whole theater sniffling. I could just hear them sniffling throughout this film. So as soon as this comes out on August 2nd, and I just do want to point out real quick too, Paul Raci is great. Coleman Domingo is winning the Oscar. There's absolutely no chance anyone beats him. Like, that is a career best performance. He's not going to have a better performance than this. Like, that was insane what he delivered. And then also Clarence Macklin, who's a first-time actor in this, almost out-acted Coleman Domingo in some scenes. Like, he was so good. But then Coleman Domingo just showed him up a little bit. But and then Paul Raci was great, and everyone here is great. They're excellent. So yeah, I'll definitely.
It's his number one.
Yeah, number one.
I know. We're almost at 3 hours though. Let's wrap it up. All right, we got the idea. It's a masterpiece. All right, go see it when it comes out August 2nd. We got it.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right.
GPO.
GPO. Is it going to do your number one?
Yeah, I got Furiosa, Mad Max Saga.
All right. So, all right. Who all has it on their list? Me, you, everybody. Okay. There we go. Yeah, we punted all these long enough. So now we got to brief. Let's try to make it fairly brief. We'll go around the horn. JP, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I won't say much here. Obviously, if you like sand, I loved you this year between this and Dune, man. If we make a sandy epic, I guess I'm your guy. No, this is another one too. I will absolutely eat my words because I was like, prequel. I just want to see Charlize Theron. I just want to see Tom Hardy. Like, I don't need a prequel. But man, if you give a good gripping story here, it fucking owns, man. Also, shout out to not only Anya Taylor-Joy, but to whoever played the younger Furiosa too, because it is kind of like her for the good first like 45 minutes to an hour. It's a different Furiosa as well that you might not know of if you haven't seen it, and she's great in it as well. The way she gets taken from the green place. Chris Hemsworth is loving his role, and he's great with his big old nose. You're ready for that potential comeuppance at the end here, just like if you've seen the last Mad Max Fury Road. It is epic. It's great. It's violent just enough. It's long. It's just the right length. I feel too. It had me the entire time. I also did the first time ever where like the screen was expanding on the walls. That 4DX or whatever the hell it was called, which I didn't know when I walked in. I was
Screen X. That's it. Yeah.
It scared me.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that meant, and I was like, "Why is the walls have more pictures?" But that's kind of cool.
Get that at the theater.
I
I worked at.
totally answered or not, but it was still kind of cool to see that for the first time as well. But the overall movie really, really works. Again, just like Fury Road, see this on a big screen if you can, man.
Yeah, sounds good. Austin.
Yeah, no, not too much of that. I mean, it's just it works. This again make a great double feature now with Fury Road. You watch this, you watch Fury Road, it blends right together.
Oh, yeah.
I love the exploration of the worlds that they kind of mentioned in Fury Road. We didn't get a lot of touching on with the gas town and the bullet farm. Real expansion of that. Again, it still looks amazing. All the action is still top notch. You know, all those chases and everything. As you said, Chris Hemsworth. Man, I would almost advocate for him to get an Oscar nomination. He is awesome in this movie. Like he's so damn good. Like I wish they probably won't recognize him, but like for supporting actor, but god damn is he entertaining as hell. Every scene he does, he just steals it and kills it. Everybody's just incredible. Even the guy who plays the Mad Max-esque guy, the Jack dude, the other driver, like he's great too. Like he's a badass. Like he does his thing. And everybody here is just on top notch. George Miller, you are a god among men. Started doing this at like 85 years old or whatever the hell you are. So you are the man. So Furious is great.
Yeah. Well, Austin, you should put it on the full screen for a second. I got some pictures of when we went to go see it, and it was really cool.
We'll make it
quick. So you can see like this is like an early screening, and people came out. They're just local people from like Salt Lake City where we were at. So that's like where I got my poster there with Austin there, and then there's like the the guys there on the car, like some really cool stuff. Like that's probably here's one last one. There you go. Of the little soldiers on there. But anyways, yeah, so that was really cool. I didn't expect all of that. I thought we were just going to like an early screening, and like they go hard for that. So I'm going to FanX. I wasn't planning on it, but I'm going to go meet up with Ross Bristow and go to FanX in September. So that'll be cool. But yeah, this movie's awesome. Like it's just it's just more of like what you love from Fury Road, but then you get more context of like where Furiosa came from, like what she's fighting for, her motivation, and like some of the fights between her and Chris Hemsworth are just so good. Yeah, like I wouldn't be upset if Chris Hemsworth won some kind of award for this, because especially the fight at like Bullet Town is just like so awesome, and like there's just so many little nuances. Like I need to watch it again, because like I want to see like any little things that I missed, because I'm sure there's a lot more to discover every time you watch it. But just like one of the like most incredible worlds that I've ever seen on screen, and it's just like really awesome. So yeah, it's my number 3. So yeah, that's where I have it. So
yeah, like what I also say, George Miller has an interesting filmography. Because like you look at like most of his career has been spent to the Mad Max movies, and then he's done Happy Feet and Babe Pig in the City. I'm like, yeah, that is this interesting. I found that interesting. But no, I was blown away by Furiosa. It was actually my favorite movie of the year for a little while as well. And then I kept on thinking about my list and just how things affected me. But I did see this in 40X. Where I've been to the ScreenX too, but I saw this in 40X where the chairs move and all that stuff, and they blow wind on you and that whole thing and all that. So and I was saving it out for 2 movies, this and Twisters, but I can't get one to Twisters because all the tickets were sold out that whole week. Damn it! So I wasn't even able to get a ticket for that because literally the 40X showings I couldn't get one all week long. It was ridiculous. So, but yeah, but I did get to see it for Furiosa, and that was really cool. It's not as action heavy as like Mad Max Fury Road, because that is like, action. This was like a Sergio Leone kind of style Western in a way. So it was like much more different. It was more dramatic. Anya Taylor-Joy was excellent in this. Yeah, Chris Hemsworth stole the show. The action top notch. The Bobby Knocker kid was the true story behind that is actually really precious. Apparently, George Miller put him in the movie because he was getting bullied. He saw him getting bullied one time by a bunch of these people, and so he told him like, I'm going to put you in my movie so you can show these losers that you're boss, pretty much. And it was like really sweet. So he put him in there, and he did good. So yeah, I hope this gets award stuff, but it also was like such a bomb that I don't know if it's going to. So we'll have to see.
I know it's like sucks that it bombed because maybe we won't get another one. I don't know. We'll see. Right. But yeah, I believe that's it, right? Do you have a number 1 that we haven't talked about yet? Yeah. Mine was already talked about. Okay.
Oh wait, did we talk about challengers?
We haven't.
Oh, you're right. Oh, yeah. Challenger. Okay.
And,
yeah, I figured.
We haven't gotten to your number 1 either. We still got my number 1 and your number 1.
Well, we already talked about mine. Just Deadpool and Wolverine. So.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, my number 1 is Challengers, so now we can all talk about it because we all had it on the list. So finally have the Challengers. Yeah. No. And listen, I know it was kind of a running gag that me and Richie were kind of bagging on the marketing for this movie because I think they didn't know how to market it. They just, let's just go with the sex angle and try to get people to. Yeah. It just bad music, bad marketing, bad trailer. So we were fully expecting it, and it got delayed. So we were like, oh, how bad is this movie? It got even pushed, to a following year. So I was fully expecting just kind of a train wreck, even though I like Luca Guadagnino's last movie, Bones and All. I like that movie a lot, but even then I was like, I don't know. And no, this movie like blew me away and surprised. So it's the biggest surprise of the year as far as a movie I thought was going to be bad, and then absolutely killed it. Yeah, I love the editing style of it as far as the back and forth and like the juxtaposition between the two kind of time periods they're bouncing back and forth with. It's just really supremely edited. The score is amazing. Everybody in the performances kills it. Zendaya is a great actress. The reason why this gets a little bit above Dune is I liked her more in this than Dune, and she's excellent. Probably my favorite ending of the year. I won't spoil anything, but like just how everything comes together and the little payoff if you're paying attention is really, really great, and the kind of the message it sends, and just this really twisty kind of love triangle that just I was hooked from scene to scene and just wondering where it was going to go. I didn't know exactly where it was going to end up, and just kept me guessing from beginning to end. So the reason why it's just slightly higher than kind of Deadpool, Wolverine, Kill, things like that, I think it just has kind of the best pure story telling of the year. So I had to keep it at number 1. So yeah, it's my number 1. Challengers still there.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have it at number 10. So, and I had it ranked higher, but then I just kept seeing like really good stuff, and it just slowly kind of moved down a little bit, but still made my top 12. And yeah, like I never thought that I'd get excited about a movie about tennis, like the way that they film things. They do some like the first person like shots of, like the ball going back and forth and like some really cool stuff like that. And they do everything to like the beat of the music, and it just really gets you just like kind of amped up for it. And like now we got the Olympics going on, and like makes me want to go watch some tennis, which I maybe like wasn't like as excited for. But there's a new kind of an African American star. Her name's Coco like Gauff or something. She's one of the like American ones I want to check out. She's kind of like a Serena Williams type, but it's like a really cool and unique love triangle. The way that it was done, I knew that like when I saw the bike rider, I knew I recognized somebody from it. There's that actor Mike Faced or whatever. He was the guy that was like the photographer, like guy that was recording stuff, all that for the bike riders, and he's in Challengers too. So yeah, but like great acting, great direction, great writing. Yeah, like this is a really awesome movie from a trailer that looked really dopey and like laughable to like what we actually got, which is like a really nice surprise. So yeah.
Well,
yeah, I absolutely loved Challengers. I'm like trying to tell all of my friends because like literally they saw the trailer. Unlike Long Legs, they see the trailers for Long Legs. They're like, oh, I gotta see that. Oh, that's so interesting. But like they saw the trailers for Challengers, like, ew, this is like some like she's like cheating with this guy
or something. Trash
and people and like none of them are. I'm like, no, guys, seriously, see it. Trust me, it's great. And they're like, I'm like, just no. It's like I have to convince
that Rihanna song, yeah.
Because man, like this was such a thrill ride of a movie. And honestly, I feel like when I was thinking about my list, there are a few of these movies. Like I mentioned that one nitpick with I Saw TV Low. There, I could maybe mention a few nitpicks with Long Legs. Maybe not. I'm probably not Sing Sing, but I maybe if I thought about it. But this one, I have thought about it. It honestly, I can't think of a flaw. I think this movie is actually pretty flawless, honestly. Like I honestly, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, there's literally nothing I can pick apart, really. Like the acting is incredible, the directing was incredible, the writing was incredible, the editing, the Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross score gets you pumped up. And yeah, I hope this gets a editing nomination at the Oscars because the way like she'll hit the ball or something like in present day, and as she hits the ball in present day, it switches to her hitting the ball in the past, and it's like, whoa, that's so cool. And just the way it goes back and forth, and it like forces you to pay attention, and this is a different movie. I've never seen it done like this before, where it doesn't even open with the studio head; it opens with the movie. It just outright just drops you into the film. And then it shows the studio stuff after that. So yeah, it's actually it is remarkable. Probably Luca Guadagnino's best film, if you ask me. So, yeah.
It's not even a nitpick against the movie. I just wish I liked Zendaya a little more, but she was good in this, so. Yeah. But yeah, JPM.
Yeah, no, you guys already set the pace here. Yeah, maybe a little bit of a misleading trailer at times. It's gone from like I don't know to even a passable movie for me to it won the best of the year. So credit to that. And hopefully people that have seen it look like even Wolfman said. Hopefully that didn't give like too much bad word of thought. But I think word of mouth is definitely going to help keep this movie kind of keep going and even potentially still get maybe some Oscar nominations at the end of the year, even though it's an earlier film here. But yeah, the main three are giving really good performances here. It's a tight script. You're constantly involved, wondering what's going to happen next between these three. Well shot too, and it makes tennis look very fucking exciting, which it's not. It's a good
movie. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, let's each recap. We'll each go around the horn. Everybody will recap their list real quick, and then we'll get to the plugs and wrap things up. I'll just run down Paul Preston's list since he ducked out a little early for anybody who missed it. He had at number 12, The Fall Guy. Number 11, Monkey Man. Number 10, The Greatest Night in Pop. Number 9, Unfrosted. Number 8, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Number 7, Daddy-O. Number 6, Horizon, Chapter 1. Number 5, Tuesday. Number 4, Knox Goes Away. Number 3, Inside Out 2. Number 2, Steve Martin, a documentary in 2 pieces. And number 1, Deadpool and Wolverine. All right, so we'll go in order. Wolfman, run down your list one more time as I'll pop it up on screen here.
Perfect. My list, number 12, I had Grounded 2, Making the Last of Us Part 2. Number 11, I had Hundreds of Beavers. Number 10, I had Kinds of Kindness. Number 9, I had Do Not Expect Too Much from the End of the World. Number 8, I had Civil War. Number 7, I had Furiosa Mad Max Saga. Number 6, I had Dune Part 2. Number 5, I had Dee Dee. Number 4, I had I Saw the TV Glow. Number 3, I had Challengers. Number 2, I had Long Legs. And then number 1, I had Sing Sing.
All right. Well, there you go. JPO, that's for you. Hit it.
And number 12, Roadhouse. Number 11, Bad Boys, Ride or Die. Number 10, Hitman. 9, Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F. 8, Challengers. 7, A Quiet Place, Day 1. 6, Inside Out 2. 5, Civil War. 4, Thelma. 3, Deadpool and Wolverine. Number 2, Dune Part 2. And number 1, Furiosa Mad Max Saga.
Furiosa. Yes. All right. As for me, number 12, I got The Bike Riders. Number 11, Late Night with the Devil. Number 10, Jim Henson, Idea Man, the documentary. Number 9, One Life. Number 8, Hitman. Number 7, Furiosa. Number 6, Civil War. Number 5, Kinds of Kindness. Number 4, Dune Part 2. Number 3, Kill from India. Number 2, Deadpool and Wolverine. And number 1, Challengers.
Yeah.
All right, Jordan.
For my number 12, I had Dune Part 2. And number 11, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. 10, I had Challengers. 9, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. And number 8, I had The Fall Guy. 7, Inside Out 2. 6 was Hitman. 5, I had Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. Number 4, Civil War. Number 3, Furiosa Mad Max Saga. And number 2, Boy Kills World. And number 1, Deadpool and Wolverine.
All right. Well, I guess it's a good thing we waited till Deadpool and Wolverine was out because I made a lot of people's lists. To do this fight. So we had a feeling it might. That's what we did.
Well, I feel like I got to see my number 1 more times than I've seen my top movie of the year, which I've seen The Fall Guy 3 times. So I feel like now I got to see Deadpool and Wolverine 4. I got to beat that record. All right. It's my number 1, but we'll see. I don't know. But yeah, this was a lot of fun, guys. We'll come back and reconvene at the end of the year. We'll probably add in Richie next time. Apologies, we can quite get you in, but we'll make sure we get you in by the end of the year. So
we'll probably do just to let everybody know at the end of the year, we'll do what we did last year. We'll kind of slowly build up to the top 12. So what we'll do is we'll do 3 podcasts as we did this past year. So the one we'll start with, we'll do the sort of worst of the year. Or actually, no, what we started with last time was we just did a roundtable of movies we wanted to shout out, like sort of those honorable mention movies outside the top 12. Just movies we did a roundtable. Everybody just kind of shouted out a movie, just talked about it for a minute, and then you just went around the table, just shouted out random movies we just wanted to, maybe recommend or that didn't get talked about enough. Then we will do a more in-depth top 12 worst of the year. So we'll kind of have the panel for that one and we'll do more of a full roundtable for that one. And then we will build up to our top 12 best of the year at the end of the year, which we usually do kind of around the beginning of January. We want to give everybody a chance to kind of catch up on some stuff. So we'll do that.
And we'll say that probably for the podcast, like the panel is probably already set for anyone that might be kind of looking forward to it. We'll have the four of us plus Richie, but for some other stuff, we might switch it up. Have some other people on for like our end of the year tournament or like our because we'll probably do a 3-parter, and then for like the worst of the year, like maybe I might even sit out that one I did last year, but we'll see. I've been watching more bad movies this year, so.
Well, if you don't have enough, we'll sub somebody else who hasn't seen a lot of bad movies, and I'll run that one.
Yeah,
on that one, no problem.
Here's a bunch of Tubi movies I watched.
Yeah, exactly. So,
right.
But anybody that isn't on those podcasts, we'll get you in because we will do a 3-part tournament as we always do with the 120 at the end of the year. We will wrap up the year, so we will definitely get people on those different parts, and whatnot, so you can still chime in on some of those movies. So just don't fret.
Yeah. So
if you've seen a lot of movies and want to get on those, we'll definitely get some different people on those as well.
Yes, if you want to be on, you can let me and Austin know. We probably won't make any decision on that till way later in the year, but we'll figure it all out. So so yeah, but yeah, this was a lot of fun. I always look forward to these, and I'm glad. Like this wasn't like exactly the halfway point. It's like a little after that, but I was out of town and just wasn't able to get to it until now. But I'm glad because we got to fit a few extra movies in there, like Deadpool, Wolverine, maybe Twisters, which surprisingly no one had on their list for anything. But that was a movie that I really wanted to see in 4DX, and I just wasn't able to make it happen. But that's fine. But yeah, it was a fun time. So that'll do it. So we'll just end it there, and we'll do some plugs, and that'll be it. So we'll go to Wolf first, since you had been the first up all night. We'll let you do your plugs first.
No,
so
I'm sure JPO will have a little special on his Pierce Co. Malcolm will do a Ranko. We all fly into each other's shows. We all do stuff around that time.
It's like we like movies or something.
Yeah, it's almost like we only talk about movies all the damn time, and we all have channels where we say, me and Wolfman will do our horror wrap up at the end of the year like we do. We all do stuff on each other's channels. So around that time, just watch out. Stick to the Movie Hero Network Facebook page. We'll all plug all our stuff in there, and you can see everything, all movie related.
Oh yeah, I wanted to just shout out real quick. So next week we can look forward to Trap. That's out next week, and then we got like Borderlands coming up. There's a few good summer movies out there still.
No, I mean we still got Joker Folie à Deux coming out, which I'm looking forward to. I hope that's as good as the first one.
Alien, Borderlands, new John Cena Aquafina movie, The Crow, Trap, Blink Twice, Cuckoo. That's all.
Yeah,
and Sing Sing.
Yeah, there's a lot.
It's in August.
Sing Sing
open.
That is true. Yeah.
It's inked out already.
I'll definitely say that.
August,
Yeah. But anyways,
I think I mean this back half of the year is starting to shape up even better than the first half of the year. So I'm looking forward to a lot of stuff.
I mean, this guy no bad.
You know what, JPO? It's a streaming movie. That's up your alley, buddy. Let me know how that goes. For you.
John Cena, you got to support John Cena.
I didn't watch Ricky Stenicki yet, so whatever. I don't care.
You son of a bitch. Oh, you don't like that one though. There's no Aquafina, so go watch that.
Okay, I'll watch that because there's no Aquafina, but the one with Aquafina, no thanks. No, I'm good. Thanks. I'm cool.
Ricky Stenicki wasn't my top
she
12,
she was like maybe only had like 2 minutes of screen time in If. Okay, I just throw that out there.
Well, I didn't care about that because she does a quick voice, and I hated that movie anyways. It wasn't just for her. She could have not been in that movie, and it still would have been one of my worst of the year. So that didn't matter. That didn't affect it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's right. And that was her. You guys talking about Bad Boys? That she was in that because she was in that too.
She was in Bad Boys. Bad Boys, Ride or Die.
Yeah, she was like with the like prostitute chick or whatever when they go into like the
no, that was Tiffany Haddish.
Oh, you're right, Tiffany Haddish. Yeah. I get those two mixed up because she's equally annoying. She's
another one I don't like. That's fine.
They don't look alike, but they are like both very polarizing. Like
that's the thing. They don't look alike, but they're
Tiffany Haddish was also on my top 12 celebrities that annoy me. So like in the same.
Yeah, no, I get it. Like they're both on a lot of.
They're both on Austin's annoyance list. So
you could have cut out the Tiffany Haddish scene and Bad Boys.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be any different.
Would have been probably even a little better. So
Yeah, right. Anyways, but Wolf, what do you got to plug?
So yeah, speaking of videos that Austin and I do, we agreed that this month, in anticipation for my most anticipated movie of the rest of the summer, which is Alien Romulus, we are going to do Alien Resurrection this year as our or this month as our monthly mistake. So that'll be a fun one.
I think there's like a drink for every time there's goo, which is like a lot in that movie, shit like that.
Every time they say Ripley, I think it was one too.
Yeah, there's a drink.
It's like the whole movie.
Yeah, so it's like that'll be a fun one. So you guys stay tuned for that. Also, probably tonight I'm gonna try to film this. This is my day off. I can kind of stay up. But either tonight I'll film it and upload it tomorrow, or I'll film it like sometime during the day and upload it that night. But I'm going to be filming a video showing off all 20 titles. I picked up 20 movies during the 50% off Criterion sale, and as far as the whole month of July. So I'm just going to kind of show off those in the video and talk about those. And then also, I know I'm way behind on my Deadpool and Wolverine review, but that is coming this week. I've been caught up with things, but that is coming probably Wednesday or Tuesday night for you guys, so y'all can stay tuned for that. But yeah, this was a blast, guys. Thank you.
Yeah. Sounds good. JPO, what do you got going on?
Yeah, when I'm not popping up on here from time to time, find me over at the Pierce Co. Pierce your ear. We do a lot of movie stuff over there as well. Lots of trivia. We've done so much trivia. Don't know why I'm talking like Trump all of a sudden. Too much trivia. Fake news.
We do the best trivia, the absolute best trivia around. It's amazing. It's amazing trivia. You'll never find.
But a lot of friends that will show up on there. They're all my best friends.
Oh my God, what?
Some of them come from China.
A weird segue that was.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then similar idea over on Pierce Wrestling again. Pierce like your ear. Lots of wrestling stuff as well. About to begin the tag team tournament of the year for wrestling trivia, as well as exclusive interviews, exclusive matches, so much more. And hey, speaking of wrestling, Thursday, me, Pez, Richie, and the Barber be talking SummerSlam this year. We also got a draft we're doing as well, so that's gonna be a fun episode as well. SummerSlam shaping up real nice.
Nice.
Oh yeah,
sounds
Very
good.
Nice.
And Austin, what do you have going on?
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously you can find me here on the Movie Hero Network, co-hosting or hosting lots of good stuff. So I'll be hosting some stuff next week here on the Movie Hero Network, including next Monday night, the 5th at 9 p.m. Wolf will be on there. Richie will be on there. Jordan Anderson will be doing another episode of Recast. Yeah, it's been a while since we did Recast. So we'll be doing a recast episode of Pulp Fiction. So a little hypothetical recasting of Pulp Fiction there. So make sure you guys get your picks locked down. Get those to me this weekend so I can put that episode together. It should be fun. Start thinking about that. That's coming up. And then I will also be hosting our next Wheel of Movies. Will be next week on the 8th at 8:30 p.m. Jordan Anderson will be our guest for that. Me and Richie will be hosting, and we'll be doing Mallrats in honor of Shannon Doherty, the late great Shannon Doherty, in Mallrats. That one's on the wheel. So rest in peace.
And also, it'll be a little timely because Kevin Smith just dropped the new trailer for that 4:30 movie or whatever it is.
Yeah, that thing is. So, but we're talking about some prime time Kevin Smith with Mallrats, so tune in for that. And then I'll also be on Rankum this coming Sunday night, ranking M. Night Shyamalan's filmography. JPO, hey, if you click on that Pierce Co. link, some ways back about a year ago, we ranked some Shyamalan movies way back when, so you can search that. And we did that. It was very helpful when I was putting together my list this time, JPO. That was before Knock at the Cabin came out, and we also might be including Trap. So I gotta, the list will be a little bit different than that. But so I'll be on there, and on that, so that's all I got for now. But so we'll be a little heavier on the Movie Hero Network next week, so tune in.
Yeah, I was trying to convince Malcolm to get Chris Scott on there because he hates every M. Night Shyamalan movie except for Old for some reason. I don't know why he likes old. It's weird.
Old's like
really weird.
whenever 11.
Yeah.
That's
So
weird.
That's
So
a
weird.
weird take. Yeah.
Jesus.
So even like
this
6
is
Sense and all
this
that.
is from the man who loves the Megamind Doom.
Yeah, the Megamind movie, one of the best movies of the year. So good.
Yeah, right.
5 out of 5. It's a masterpiece, guys.
It's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
It sure is.
Yeah.
Did he replace Will Ferrell? Is he the lead? Is like there a reason that he likes it that much? Like I don't know.
I have no idea.
Maybe that's like stock and Peacock right now, and he's just hoping that movie does
man.
well.
It's like,
I don't
guys,
know.
don't get it. Everyone's sleeping on this Megamind sequel.
Yeah.
Here's a
I don't
code to sign up
know.
for Peacock. Use code
That's
C
right.
Scott.
Yeah. Use code 5 out of 5 plus to save 5% on your Peacock subscription.
Yeah, right. Yeah. He's sponsored by them. But yeah, so I won't plug as much since we're just doing a podcast tonight, but you can find us on all the social medias at Movie Hero 2121, and everything else is just down in the description. You can find it there. And what we have coming up the next a few weeks, I'll still promote tournament fights and tier ranker and the trivia, because we're doing trivia Friday, so it'll be the next round of the Seen and Heard movie trivia tournament. So the competitors will be a 4-way match between Ryan Permerson, Ryan Payne, Moose Haas, and JTE. And then following that, we'll have another 4-way match. It's going to be Will Cohen versus Steve Mesa versus Antonio Chavez versus Ross Bristow. So tune in for that. And then let me bring up the schedule. So for what we have coming up on the schedule, post that we will be doing best movies of 2002. So that's what's coming up next.
We just did 2002. What are you talking about?
Oh, sorry. No, sorry. I'm looking at something that's out of order on my list. We just did 2002. So scratch that. We are going to be doing actually a mystery tournament. So we may want to try to spin that wheel maybe sometime this weekend, maybe. But so that's coming up Tuesday. Then we'll be doing our continuing our best TV show tournament with best TV shows from 2015 to 2017. So that'll be our tier ranker quest to determine the best TV shows of all time. And then we'll speaking of Wolfman here, we'll be doing his top 128. That's coming up pretty quick here. So that'll be a 3-part series.
So keep this handy for that episode.
Yeah, right.
For him and Dan on there. So I'm going to limit you guys to 30 seconds apiece for real. So, all right. Because we ain't having no 5-hour episodes like y'all did last time. That ain't happening. Sorry.
We'll give Wolfman 32 seconds.
But it's history making.
Uh-huh.
I made history on your channel.
Yeah, we're gonna make history of the longest shows. We don't want to do that again. So don't do that. No,
Yeah, right.
that's not happening. No, some of us live on Eastern time. Stop that. All right.
Yeah. But then we're gonna get to the next one. Ladder should be best of 2001. So that's what we're getting to. And then also, me and Wolfman will be doing a battle of our favorite actors. We decided to do 4 movies from 8 of our favorite actors. So that will be coming up. We'll also be doing a friend of the show, Eric Ibarra, will be doing his top 64. We also have Mr. Zach Shelton. We're doing his top 32 favorite music artists of all time for his birthday. His birthday is in September, so that'll just be a quick one. Hey, I'm going a lot shorter than I normally go. But yeah, so before his birthday, and then I'll just throw you in 2 more. We'll be doing best TV shows 2010 to 2014, and then one of Ross's friends. You've seen her once or twice here. Her name's Ashton McIntosh. She wanted to do a top 64. She's a big movie fan. Maybe not big enough where she wants to come on here like on a regular basis, but she did want to do a top 64. So I decided to throw her a bone. We'll let her do it. So yeah, that's coming up. So yeah, that'll be it. So thanks again, guys. This was a fun time, and we'll call it good here. So we'll say for Paul Preston, for Michael the Wolfman Wyndham, for Jordan Owens, for Austin Pez Howell, I've been Jordan the Movie Hero Anderson, and we'll see you next time.